How are we doing? I may have to change some stuff around here to get the audio levels right again. They kind of get they get a little funky because anytime I don't actually say why I have to seemingly readjust it every stream, because they tend to get a little bit iffy whenever I like use like OBS to go like record myself doing like voice stuff in my studio. I gotta like change the levels around to fit with, you know, the mic that I have better adjusted. So then it's like, oh, there's like no like I don't need any like extra decibels or anything. I don't need any like noise gate, anything like that, because I'm in so much better of a spot. So there's always that time at kind of the start of stream where I gotta like correct things because of that. Also, let me you know, let's get in here so we can. There we go. Now we pop up in the corner. Now we're who we're supposed to be. I was thinking about asking someone else if they wanted to join me for one of these, but then I forgot. So you've got me again, alone, chat. How are we all doing? Surprising amount of success, I gotta say, on the Enfield stream. That was a surprise. We like correction stream for sure, indeed. But yeah, that was a surprise. I expected, because that was like a Tuesday afternoon stream. I thought that one was gonna do kind of badly, and I was just like almost streaming to give myself an excuse to play Enfield, and then it actually got like 15, 16 concurrents. Like, it was actually like at its peak. It was one of my best streams recently, which is kind of crazy. Because I mean, there was a bit of there was some great success with the stream with the last Nuzlocke stream with Bio. That one not only got a lot of concurrents, but the view count is like a little lower because like those concurrents stayed, like that higher number of concurrents stayed the whole time, which is kind of cool. But also, like, obviously when the view number is lower on the stream, it's like, oh man. But then again, you know, it's kind of expected when they are staying, when the concurrents aren't leaving. So it's kind of a, we take it. Yeah, we take it because there is value in what we actually got out of it. So, yeah, I think that's the main that's the main things that I want to say. Yeah, next video is gonna be an Uma video. It's gonna be out next week. It was supposed to be out this week, but between first of all the exhaustion symptoms and then getting really sick, we had to push that off. So that'll be done next week. That'll be done next week, and then probably back to another Arknights video, and then I might go even more off the walls with just a video that I want to make that probably won't get any views, but is just something that I want to do. And I'm thinking about, honestly, looking to not just make longer videos, but just not care so much about trying to be like strict time in between, because at this point I'm trying to be like every 3 weeks a video, because it was at one point every week, and then every 2, and then every 3, because it's just there's so much else happening with me that I don't want to be like, because if I was trying to do weekly uploads, I'm gonna be throwing so many days into just that. And even same with 2 weeks. It's either throwing tons of days or having stuff like a bunch of the tier lists, but those kind of clog up the channel. So those are some of the content things that are going on with the channel and my mindset on things recently. I know, not particularly interesting. Probably some people have already clicked off the stream because it's not exactly the behind the scenes process is not exactly the most interesting. But yeah, like I have all of the audio on my end recorded. I may have to get back in there and do some like pickups for some of the skits, because some of the people that I wanted for the skits who like initially wanted to do them weren't able to. So I'll probably have to do a couple of those in the studio by myself again. And I'll also have to obviously add the Titi event to that. I'll have to, after we get through this, it's probably gonna be 2 streams like it usually is for these. After we get through this, I'll have to read the, I'll have to write the Titi section of that video. And then, you know, I'll be starting that one, but that one is gonna be like, that one might just be like, it seems like I forgot the channel password for 2 months type shit. Alright, anyways. Ugh. We've got to get to work, don't we? Don't we, chat? We've got words on a page that we have got to get through. So let's get to it. You guys have your Minecraft parkour on the side there, so that, you know, you are all set. Your engagement video, and if there's nothing else anyone has in store to say, then we're good to go. And so, Caracera, the singer of epics, the gentlest hero of Agamemnon, hung her harp upon the branches of the laurel tree, its body made from the tallest firs atop Mount Himnoi, its strings made from the bravest bird and beast that roamed the Agnes plains. When it played, all things in the land of heroes sang together, riding upon the winds in freedom. Now, Caracera hangs her harp by the laurels. The outlanders have come from afar, said Caracera, clutching her knife tightly. They trample our lands, set fire to our homes, and let the rivers cease their peaceful flow. And they command all things to sing for them. This alone wrenches my heart. My harp sings only the tales of the heroes. Caracera, I think is probably how you'd say that. I don't know. Okay, excited voice. Okay, irritable voice is the cat. Excitable voice is Titi. While there's no specific mention in the records, historians generally agree that Padishah Mala most favored Athenius out of the 3 great nomadic cities that Sargon built for Minos. Sargonian and Minoan engineers took great pains to preserve its signature feature as the mountain-rimmed garden when it was moved to a nomadic platform. Today you'll see the same mountains and rivers as Caracera once did upon entering Athenius through the mountain pass that Padishah Mala made it a point to preserve. This is a route that I highly recommend my readers.
Oh, shut up. Just look where your stupid books led us. And this big heavy piece of stupid crap we have to carry, just the 2 of us.
Oh, there he is. The cat from the Pepe event and the other cat from the Pepe event. I always forget Mio's like in her little in her art sitting there. Take it easy, calm down, no hitting. That's what him hitting sounds like. Sounds like lightly knocking on a door. Like I wasn't tired enough after walking for days on end.
Y'all wanted to talk, girl. Why did you decide on a whim to travel separately from the group? I'd be lying in the Athenian flower fields and drinking floral liquor by now if it wasn't for you.
It wasn't on a whim. I told you, my father used to tell stories about a place called Minos on the other side of the Agnes River, stories that left a deep impression on me. And I told you it was an invaluable opportunity for diplomacy with Minos. I wanted to go to Athenius via Caracera's old route and experience history.
You don't have to experience this. You didn't have to experience history with this thing. It's gotta be, what, over 50 kilos? Just the 2 of us to carry it? Trying to experience the Yinny's idiom when you bear a bunch of logs to beg forgiveness?
It's a bundle of thorns. The Yinnies wouldn't appreciate you rewriting their idioms.
That's not the point. Have you got anything in that skull of yours besides history books?
Alright, no hitting. I wasn't comfortable letting someone else handle it. This is the most valuable item in the Varshavandabad Museum's collection, an important relic to both Sargon and Minos. We came all this way. I just like see some of the big words. I'm just like, okay, I fucking need a moment. I gotta like mentally sound it out first. There's like the 15 character words.
To give it back to the Minoans, to build a new era of friendship between the 2 nations. We haven't forgotten your mission. Yay, clap, clap. You are lost. You are late. And you have missed your appointment with the Astinamos of Athenas. God damn it, Medjehtiqedti, Nasatu, Mashayer.
Well, the rest of the mission should be in the city by now, using the normal route. I'm sure Ben Hui will explain to the Astinamos.
Ben Hui? That noble who thinks his scut smells like roses. Are you just acting dumb, or are you actually that dumb? Are you acting stupid, or are you actually just fucking stupid?
What voice do I want to give Mio? I'm not liking the one he currently has. I gotta find something else.
Did you see that look on his face when he learned he was gonna be your assistant in the mission? It's like you stolen 50 carats of pure gold from him.
Oh no, Benoît's a very nice man. Taking on such an important mission so soon after I became curator of Varjavandabad Museum made me... Anyway, Benoît helped a lot on this journey.
Fine, suit yourself. I'm just tagging along as a tourist. Let's get going before we collapse from exhaustion.
Yes, see? We're almost there. Look. Wow. I've read a lot about Athenius, but to actually find myself here.
I see fields of flowers. Floral liqueur and flower cakes. We're saved. Epic background music with this establishing shot.
That is very cool.
And you can't show us these big ol' like world shots and then be like, alright, now go back to Enfield and play in Valley 4. You can't do that. That's not right. This is so awesome. Minos, the land of 1,000 Palais, separated from Sorgon by a river. Here's Athenius, the first polis, the mountain-rimmed garden. That's this. Ugh, fuck. That was a burp. Sorry, Chad. Excuse me. As the city that Titi has only ever known through historical records reveals itself, she lays eyes on a scene very different from the sands of Sargon. White walls, green fields, rivers weaving their way through mountains. Strange temples unabashedly announce themselves on the mountaintops and besides the rivers. Heroic epics are the rain that nourishes Minos. These temples are the mushrooms that grow afterwards. No wonder this land has birthed so many famous plays, philosophers, stories, and legends, which not even the sands could bury. Hey, why are you pushing me? I haven't even caught my breath yet. For days, Titi has been placating her beast aristocrat companion, trying to wear a mask of calm for this journey. Now she's even more eager than Mio to get into this city. See the ferry crossing down there? We're not truly in the city until we cross over. Hurry now. Should I help? The river is freezing. I see the ice floating on it, but all you have is an oar. Oh my god, this fucking guy. The boss, this fucking guy. Him and his 12 trillion health. That fucking trivializes all that you can do with trap masters in a boss fight. Oh, I love that.
Just sit tight, Titi.
Luggage is not heavy. I can walk on my own.
Let me ferry you for a little bit. There's little else I can do for you. It's been 2 years since you experienced divine revelation. Since our meeting, you taught us the knowledge you brought from the cities. Built a village on the marsh that the Sargonians wouldn't bother with. Farming the paddy fields and fending off the cold. We lived together. We were family.
The past 2 years I've been trying to figure out why divine revelation led me here. Now I understand. The Sargonians will appear on the riverbanks nearby. I can reach the place quickly by following this river out of the marshes.
I see.
Do you believe that the guerrillas can defeat the Sargonians, even though we've been losing for a century?
I haven't received any divine revelations, and I can't tell the future. Can't even live with you. But I will promise what I can. I'll protect our village, our houses, our farms, and flower beds. Perhaps we can go to Athenius, where you came from, once you're victorious. I'll still be a ferryman, ferrying you to your workplace at the temple on the other side of the city as the sun shines upon the Delphi Canal. I've been imagining the scene ever since you described it to me. Are you listening, Ithacos?
Minos is in for a cold winter this year, brother. Rose past her.
Oh, and there's the little port. That's the port from the thumbnail with Titi looking like a chud. Ferryman shakes his head. What's his response to Ithacos? For many years, he still cannot remember. There you are, Master Xanthos. You're 10 minutes late.
I've never been late before, Layakon. This is the first time.
I saw your... This is... Let's see this man. There we go. I saw your chitin by the shore. But you might have dropped it yesterday when you left. Or a thief might have stolen it, only to decide it was too old and ragged to keep. Little could I have imagined that you'd gone for a morning swim. Out of habit, I folded and stowed your chitin. You cannot reproach me for it, for you had not informed me of your schedule. It's I should report you, for the doctor has warned you to be careful.
Thank you, Layakon. Over the years, I have taught you how to fight and ferry. You have handled my daily needs wholeheartedly. I am not reproaching you. I simply have to leave early today, so tardiness weighs heavily on my mind.
Changing the topic again. But are you going to the cemetery to visit?
Ithacos, my friend. He was only your age when we bid farewell. I never saw him again.
I should say some words of comfort, but I find them beyond my ability.
You should stay within your abilities. It's rarely your place to go beyond them. The fruit farmers and workers at the first temple have been in conflict over boat assignments for days. They're asking the dockmaster, me, to arbitrate. This is what we should be putting our minds to. Let's go to the main crossing. It will be a busy day.
One moment, Master Xanthos. The Astronomos requests your presence at this secondary crossing day to repair the boats that are broken down.
No one in Athenios uses the word priority more than Lydia. What else did she say?
Nothing.
Is the Sargonian mission due to arrive today?
I think so.
Should I be grateful or angry that Lydia still remembers me? Should pull all the teeth out of my oars, or simply throw me in jail so they never get the chance to meet the Sargonian envoys coming to visit their old stomping grounds.
Excuse me, can we get a ride across? Too many people at the crossings. We'll be late.
Thank God they'll never get to meet the Sargonians. Oh no, a Sargonian! Immediately!
Dignified woman. Boom. Goddamn. Got the suit as well. Did not expect to see the suits coming out. You don't really expect that when they're going to Minos, but they did execute it. You got the little almost like branches going around the arms and the hair and everything. Not bad. Also, chat, if we potentially have to cut it a little early, it'll just be because I am still very tired from being sick. So just want to like warn of the potential that it may happen. I'm gonna try to get us to about halfway, like we always do, but if it happens, you'll know why. If it has to happen, you'll know. And Pompous Noble, this is the guy. This is the guy. He really looks like an NPC. He's screwed. He's not built for this. I mean, no offense, as that is precisely the case. Oh wait, you said your ambassador has been delayed by certain circumstances? I mean, no offense, as that is precisely the case. I beg your understanding, Astinamos. The Minoan vistas are beautiful. While her excellency is young and curious, she is bound to commit some youthful indiscretions. I say again, as deputy chief of mission, as the man invested with the titles of the ancient and exalted Sargonian house of Enshapa, I'm equally empowered to act on the Empire's behalf. Of course, I have the utmost confidence in you. Kyros Bernway? When do the Athenians intend to hold the ceremony, then? What ceremony? The exchange ceremony. Our two nations formally established diplomatic relations at the beginning of this year. As part of our cultural exchange, we are repatriating our relics of Kyocera, the founding heroes of Minos, to Athenius. In exchange, we'll receive the technical legacy that the Sargonians left behind during the construction of Athenius, Corinea, and Lacedemon. Surely you've not forgotten, honored Astromos. Of course not, Your Excellency. We stand now in the Astromos' office instead of elsewhere because of the non-aggression pact that was signed following the last major battle between our two nations in the Minoan borderlands. Sorry, I've been rather overworked lately. I'm sure you saw the vast construction sites and passionate craftsmen as you passed by the Agora by the river when you entered the city. Yes, it's the rebuilding of the first temple. One of in 5 Athenians are involved in the project. The first temple? As you said yourself. Cassera is the founding hero of Minos. Perhaps you've heard of her deeds. At the very beginning, she led refugees from scattered tribes out of war and plague and brought them to a garden encircled by mountains. Those who followed Cassera built the first temple of Minos here. Thus began the bloodline of heroes. After that came Athenius, the land of 1,000 Pelei. That first temple was lost to the fires of war. Now it is being rebuilt by the people of Athenius themselves. I'm sure the significance is not lost on you. I understand. To obtain the stone needed to rebuild the temple, however, we kept Athenius by Mount Himnoi for an entire week. It's apple season. Fresh apples need to be ferried out through the crossings, while unripe fruits need plenty of sunlight. The quality of the apples will be compromised if the city does not move to an area with more sunlight soon. I'm sure you saw the fruit farmers gathered at the crossing.
Yes, I did.
The people need to commemorate their heroes. The farmers need to ensure their harvest is not ruined. You understand that Astremos does not have that much power in the Minoan administrative system. I need the priest's approval for everything. I confess I'm rather overwhelmed right now.
Perhaps looking for excuses has eaten up too much of your time.
Your Excellency misunderstands. I'm of the younger generation myself, at a time when all the Centrum powers are actively seeking change. I believe smaller nations like ours must keep up with the times. The exchange of Charisea's relics for the data from the 3 Pelei has been at least 6 months in the making. It's an honor to play a small part in facilitating the new friendship between Sargon and Minos after years of conflict.
We'll see about that. I don't know.
I suggest you and your mission take some time to see the city. The Athenian sights are spectacular, and I'm sure you'll find it well worth your time. Perhaps if you could even visit the site of the first temple's rebuilding. After all, it is Charisea's relics that you're returning. Minos was ordained by fate. Minoans love drama and philosophy. We enjoy the rigor of preparation and logical deduction, but we also hope for pleasant surprises. As for the exchange, we'll hold a formal ceremony in a couple of days. By Minoan tradition, ceremonial occasions begin with a play directed by the priests, imploring the heroes to bless the occasion and ensure that everything goes smoothly. However, Athenius created the post of astronomus 2 years ago to reduce the burden on the priests and simplify procedures. Therefore, I've already assigned someone to begin preparations. My trusty aide and Grammatus here will make comprehensive arrangements for your stay. Seek him out if you have any issues. Hakademos? Here is Hakademos.
Oh my god, he's like Karen. He's got the big ol' he's got the big ol' megaphone. Here, Academos, nobody at Minos, the blaring megaphone at your service during working hours. I have no use for some pretty boy. I mean, it's been a long journey and I am tired. I'll wait at the hotel until the arrangements for the exchange ceremony are made. As for visiting the first temple rebuilding site, I will leave the opportunity to Her Excellency the Ambassador. She's a musologist full of energy. I'm sure she'll be very interested.
I see. I'll have Hakademos speak to Ambassador Medjehtiqedti directly. Medjehtiqedti. Okay, Medjehtiqedti.
I look forward to what pleasant surprise you have to offer us, Ostinamos. I'm not gonna pronounce any of these words right. I already know that. Why am I getting so pressed about it? I already know I'm not gonna pronounce this shit right. It's not like Skorax in the stream. There's no one here who's Greek who knows the correct way to pronounce it, so is what it is. I look forward to what pleasant surprise you have to offer, but I hope I don't learn you are stalling for time or hiding some ulterior motive.
I could say the same for you, Caius Benhui. Look out the window. The morning mist on the Delphi Canal is just beginning to dissipate. This peace wasn't easy to win. I hope we can all be honest with each other. What a shame that I didn't have the opportunity to see Caria Mashir today. Young and promising, yet mercurial. What is she like?
Oh, Perlice. You've only just put one foot on the boat. Look at you.
It's tipping!
It's a boat. It's supposed to do that. Did you say you signed up for the yacht club when you studied in Max DC?
I was too busy with my studies. Most of my time was spent either in the restoration room or at archaeological sites. I only am going there twice.
So you're from Colombia. I thought by your garb that you were.
Master Xanthos?
What?
She's boat sick.
A rare occurrence.
I'm not. My legs are just tired from all the walking and buckled a little. What do?
Take the luggage onto the boat. I'll go and get something. Take her to the cabin. The waves are not strong today and the boat should sail steady. The Delphi Canal treats those with good intentions kindly. To go to the main crossing once we've delivered her to see that Sargonian ambassador. Can't let the ass animals' heads go to waste, can we?
I'll come with you, Master Xanthos. I must keep an eye on you.
You bring the passenger's luggage first. What? I was only going to be a little racist. What? Oh, you can't trust me? Oh, because they look Sargonian, I was gonna get a little racist? What? Do you think? That's what you think? That's what you think of me? Really? That's what you think?
They weren't listening to me.
You're missing the point. They've got a vendetta against you. It's not too late to switch your nationality to Colombian. Don't.
Please be careful. This is very important.
Hey, you. Oh, forget it. Let's get on the boat.
It's not too late to pretend to be Colombian.
It's really heavy. What is it? It's movie figurines from Rakewood. They were playing to sell here. Even got ones from the latest hit, Lady DuPont.
And you know, the one that got the poor Zalek unfortunately executed because the writers are shit.
But there are no cinemas in Athenius. That's the point. You want to sell shoes, you do in a country where everybody's barefoot.
Did you say the Delphi Canal will treat those with good intentions kindly, Mr. Master Ferryman?
The source of the Delphi River is on Mount Imnoi, flowing through the plains between the Minoan mountains past the former sites of Athenios and Corinthia from before they became nomadic cities. Helped our warriors fend off the iron hooves of the Sargonian raiders. It's been turned into a canal now. It continues to nurture singers and debaters, the culture of Minos. Yes, the Delphi Canal will treat those with good intentions kindly. Except Sargonians!
Perhaps there are Sargonians who understand and love Minoan culture. Maybe. Like poking index fingers together. Maybe.
No. The last Sargonian who introduced herself with those words was the sister of the Shahansha, Mala, queen of the far shore. She burned every Minoan city but the 3 Polei to the ground, closed the temples, banned the plays, imported Sargonians, and assimilated Minoan culture in every way possible. She brought the darkest age upon our country. She was the understanding and love by bleeding the heroic blood of the Minoans dry. Is this ambassador from far another shameless noble who seeks to be the next queen of the far shore by trampling Minos underfoot?
Listen. Hey, is it tipping again? Help.
Never mind all that. Have an apple, it'll settle your stomach. So you had gone to get an apple?
Thanks.
Keep your eyes closed and don't look at the water. You'll feel better that way.
I'll be fine. I want to see it. Yeah, that actually is true for a lot of things like this. A lot of like motion sickness and seasickness. It's from like your mind doesn't know what to. Your mind and body don't know what to do with. I am in something that's moving in a different way to my surroundings. Like, it's why, like, reading it's one of the things, like, reading in the car can, like, accelerate that. Like, reading, if you're, like, in the backseat of a car can also, like, that's the way that I get it. I don't get motion sick or seasick. And, like, if I'm reading, I will get a headache, like, immediately if I'm trying to, like, read in the car. On a plane, it's fine, though. But maybe that's because on a plane, like, when you're like above the clouds and everything, it doesn't look as crazy. Like your mind's kind of like, oh, like big like layer of cloud at the bottom. It's not really moving that fast because it's so big and everything. Or just like you're so high up and everything. So, yeah. I'll be fine. I want to see it. Okay, leaning against the side of the boat, Titi forces her eyes open. There's the thumbnail shot from bright and early in the event. I had to shift it a little bit to get space in the bottom right for the rain guy. Leaning against the side of the boat, Titi forces her eyes open. The sun is hanging high above. The morning mist of the Delphi Canal in autumn has completely dissipated, and the last cool touch of the wind brushes against her cheeks. I know the blade of vengeance and the decapitation of the conqueror are core themes of Minoan drama, but I've seen more thought-provoking expressions as well. I'll see each and every one clearly with my own eyes after I finish vomiting on your boat. I came to Athenius to...
Do what?
Look there! Even though I feel like I'm gonna throw up all my internal organs, I still... The river, the city is so beautiful. I think I'll love this place. Ah!
I am honored to hear you say as much. But here, I wish you a joyful and safe trip in Minos.
How many times, chat, do you think you could vomit on your best friend before they got really mad at you? Like how many times do you think, like, you would have to vomit on them before they got, like, really fucking pissed? I feel like it'd be, like, time, like, if we're talking, like, days in a row. I'd say, like, 3, probably, for, like, my homies. I think, like, the first 2 days, it's like, wow, he's really sick. Like, wow, Ray's really sick. We gotta, like, we gotta, like, he's really sick. Like, do you need anything? Like, very, like, helpful. Once you hit, like, 3 days in a row, it's like, I feel like you could be aiming this elsewhere. Like, once you hit 3 days in a row, I think that's where you're, like, at a point of, like, okay, man. I know I assume you're still, like, very sick. You're obviously going through it. But I feel like you could also definitely, like, day 3 or 4. Maybe it takes till day 4. I think day 4 is the one. I think day 4 is the day where it's like, your friends should begin going, okay, man, if you're vomiting on them consistently for 4 straight days. I know that's a totally random aside. Oh my god, recommended right under the stream is Cadril T1 at MSI versus TL. Oh, I can't wait to watch that after. I can't wait to watch that video after stream. If TL takes a single game off T1, I'm gonna celebrate that game. That whole play-in format for MSI is so fucked up. It's T1 and then like TL, Carbide Core, and Deep Cross. Like, how fucked is everybody but T1? Most likely, if you're gonna get out, you have to beat T1 twice. Like, you have to beat the Korean second seed twice. For, like, all these second seeds from other regions. It's so cooked for everybody else. I think it's just, like, a guarantee that T1 gets out. It is a very, I'm not gonna lie, it's a very fucked up play-in format. At this point, it's like, just give the LCK their second seed and don't give the others. I don't know, it's so cooked. But we'll see. Who knows? Maybe like Deep Cross are just secretly goated, or maybe the Busio and Kalis just formed the great French-American bot lane link and Carmine Core wins, or I don't know, Jose Dioto doesn't shit himself internationally for once and TL wins. I don't know, maybe. But for now it looks... This guy has the most Minecraft Steve square face. It is perfectly symmetrical. Also, this is the exact look I'd imagine, like, you have, like, if you had, like, the Odyssey in Arknights, this would be, like, Odysseus. This would be what he'd look like, going through all his trials and tribulations.
I've been dreaming about the gorillas again, Cassandra.
Oh my, whoa. Oh, goodness. Ma'am. God motherfucking damn. Big ol' horns on you. How do you put on your dress? I feel like for Arknights, the fashion has gotta be like, it's just gotta be popular to like, not only have someone else help you, like when you have like the big horns, like especially if you're like wealthy, but have like, all those dresses have to have like, essentially they have to have a way that like, they like almost Velcro or zipper or something. Because you're not getting a dress over those horns. So she has to like, it has to like be put on, almost like wrapped around and then clipped. Right? It has to be something like that. I think like if you look at Viviana's like night outfit, I think there's like areas where you can see like zippers and stuff where like, oh, her hood, she just has to like position it and then zipper it on. Cause you can't put a fucking hood on over her giant ass antlers. This is the third time you've come to the Endminian Temple to ask for a dream reading, Magus. You still dream of that night, 7 years ago?
Yes. We hid in the forest on that dark night. The Sargonians surrounded the woods, hunting for us. We could not make a sound, let alone risk a light. We had to disassemble our weapons in pitch darkness. Screws, springs, originium components. Tied the parts of my arts unit to my clothes and shoes, disguised as accessories. He had me so cold that I did not notice when an originium component had cut my palm open. I thought the wet stuff was sweat. The sun rose, we walked past the Sargonians, disguised as lumberjacks from a nearby village. But a dozen in total. We'd be dead if they saw through our disguise. Sized us up for a moment there, I thought the game was up. I panicked, tripped over a tree root and plunged in the mud face first. The Sargonian laughed and rapped on my shoulder with the hilt of his sword, disdainfully. But I was happy. I knew we were safe. Keep dreaming about it, do you think?
Do you want to know if it's a divine revelation? No, motherfucker, you need therapy. This isn't a divine revelation. This is like PTSD. You had a traumatic event in your past. Like, you stop coming to my temple, go to therapy. I already referred you. I keep telling you this, you keep coming back.
Last year, I saw with my own eyes how the heroes spoke their will through you on the Agora. You are the speaker of the heroes of Minos, the only priest in Athenius who can tell a divine revelation from a normal dream. It's the gods' will that I take up arms again, then I will, no matter how much I fear.
Please sit down. Your legs are trembling and your face is pale. The heroes of Minos will not force the children back into a nightmare when they've already seen far too much of the horrors of war.
You mean?
I think you have misinterpreted the revelation. Go to therapy. Can I spell it out more clearly for you? Wisdom and courage shine upon you and your friends in place of the twin moons who closed their eyes and delivered you in the morn, just as you woke up from dream to greet the beautiful Athenian dawn. The virtues of the hero should be praised, but the pain that has lingered for 7 years has blinded you to the beautiful fruit that's ripened on the branches of fate. Pick it, for it is the hero's blessing upon you.
A blessing on an ordinary Minoan like me?
Our gods and heroes were once ordinary Minoans.
Thank you, Cassandra. I'm beginning to understand.
I have come to relieve you, Cassandra. I don't know if I was properly shaded all the way. My face looks a little too monocolored.
It's already time. So many visitors to the temple today.
Oh my god, this might be the most classic of the like event songs, this one. I think this one has been in every single event since Grunny and the Knight's Treasure. I don't remember if it was in any of the main story before then, because the main story doesn't really have like a cool chill moment early. At least that I remember. Man, I had like a, I mean, I had like a fucking Heart Gold Soul Silver like Soul Lock first date like type thing yesterday with a girl, and you know we did briefly talk talk Arknights, and she was saying like she'd try to get into it, but it was like a thinking game, and I was like, no, we gotta get you back into it sometime, because you do not gotta be that smart. You don't gotta be that smart. I'm not that smart. I've played so much of it. You don't gotta be that smart. You really don't. You can succeed with like low rarity units. You can do your 5-star clears and everything if you're smart. Like Mythos on my server, that guy is good at the fucking game. He does all of his 5-star clears. That's a guy who's really good at the fucking game. But you don't have to be that good. Someone who knows that Arknights is kind of peak. Yeah, knows Arknights. Knew the Jerboa before I even mentioned it, because we ended up talking a little bit about favorite animals, because we were playing like a Pokemon game, and we were talking about like favorite starters. Because we both agree Chikorita's a total chud, even if at this point the Chikorita line has a special place in my heart because of Chud-san. I mentioned Empoleon being like my favorite because I really like penguins. And God got to like favorite animals. I mentioned the like Jerboa. And then she was like, Jerboas are really cute and everything. I was like, someone who knows the Jerboa? A bald knower? That's rare. That's rare. Yeah. Yeah, she's very cool. Yeah. We're gonna probably be gaming for our first few like meetups because I'm obviously still kind of sick and recovering, and then next week is supposed to be like every weekday is like highs of 100, like feels like 115 with a 10 UV index. So like it's gonna probably be maybe like next weekend it'll be cool enough to like hang out without dying anywhere that's like outside. We can like go for a walk without feeling like we're gonna die. Cause it is just the heat wave's been slapping the Euro boys. It's gonna be hitting here next week. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not built. I'm super pale as well. So a 10 UV index, like if I go out there for like 20 minutes without sunscreen, not only will I be sweating up a storm, I'll fucking be peeling off skin when I get back in. 10 UV index means it is sunny as all hell. Oh. Me and the homies we're gonna go disc golfing this weekend, like because we were not gonna be able to next week because it's just like it's so fucking hot that it's like yeah we're not gonna be out in the blazing sun with that UV. You know, some of us are more okay than others because some of us aren't aren't white, so some of us do not burn as easily. Only problem for that is that the darker you are, the hotter it is. So you can't win. Your skin either burns and peels, or it absorbs light and heat even better, so you get even hotter. There's no winning. The sunlight when it's summer and it's insanely hot, you can't win. It sucks, no matter what. Summer is so like summer only gets glaze because as a kid you get summer off, like from school. That's why summer gets glaze. I loved summer as a kid. When you get older and it doesn't like matter, there's not like summer vacation, bro. Spring, fall, winter, all more comfortable, all cooler holidays.
You have so much on your plate, not just with visitors to enemy temple, but also acting on behalf of the head priest of Kasera's first temple. In administrative duties while the position remains vacant. I have to try and do Timmy Turner's teacher from Fairly Odd Parents! Timmy Turner! There's no need to worry about me, Folia. It's my calling to interpret Revelation and speak on behalf of the gods. So you should know better than to do that. The man's dream was mundane. The divine revelation, to use more Colombian words. He may have post-traumatic stress disorder. I know. I told him to go to therapy. Why didn't you tell him? Because he didn't fucking listen. Divine revelation should be an honor for any Minoan, but there were only shame and fear in his eyes. He wants to receive guidance from the gods, but he fears the nightmare is truly a revelation he cannot refuse. If he believes in my interpretation more than he believes in himself, then I have responsibility to make his life a little easier, if nothing else, by telling him to go to therapy. The gods want you to go to therapy. They're telling you to go to therapy. I'll prepare some herbal tea with a soothing effect for him, and it's conducted to follow up. You have the afternoon off, don't you? You should stop spending it on the temple and focus on yourself. Thank you, Folia. You take so much weight off my shoulders.
Oh yeah, also like it just totally random thing while I'm thinking about the fucking Heart Gold Soul Silver like Soul Lock fucking date. We almost lost on the second gym because I hardcore disrespected Bugsy's game. I didn't realize like just how hard I was carried by having a Geodude on the Nuzlocke because like with Geodude, Bugsy can do nothing. He loses no counterplay. There's literally nothing he can do. If you don't have Geodude, Scyther actually like does a fuck ton of damage. Like his quick attacks were like obliterating everything I had. I lost like I lost 3 of 5 Pokemon that I had. So like we're down to 2 now. Cause yeah, if you have Geodude, you can really just rock up. You're too tanky for him to hurt, and you just rock throw one-shot everything. If you don't have Geodude, it kind of sucks. Cause I couldn't even get the trade Onix because I got Spinarak on the route, and she got Bellsprout, so she traded Bellsprout for Onix, so she had both Onix and Geodude, so she was like giga fine. She was giga fine. I was struggling. I understand Dio's struggle when he had to sacrifice and lose me two Pokemon to Eliza now because I ended up with a much stronger team for dealing with her. Because that was a problem. I'm so very sorry, Hecademos. I dozed off as soon as I reached the hotel. I didn't realize I would make you wait for a full 3 hours. There's no need to worry, Karimacher. Waiting is part of the job for us. Demos is Gramatoyus. You still look weak. Are you sure you want to visit the first temple right now? You can rest a little longer. Yes, I'm sure. If anything will bring you back to full strength right now, it's Kasera's first temple. I understand the original site of the temple was where Kasera, the founder and founding hero of Minos, first received divine revelation in the mountains. The first temple that she built there became the genesis of Minos. When Sargon invaded Minos, they rebuilt the 3 great Poleas nomadic cities, but There's war-torn first temple remained where it was. Now after a century, Athenaeus is rebuilding the temple, giving me the opportunity to see the historical building in its original form. This is incredibly exciting. Yeah. Oh, God, it's so... The Arknight's aesthetic, you have all these, like, temples and everything, and then you have that, like square windowed, like, very modern design in the middle of it. It's so cool. That, like, Arknight's aesthetic, they do it with Yan, and that's, like, one of the things they actually kind of brought to Wu Ling. Just, like, one of the good parts of the infill design was that being brought to Wu Ling and everything. Like, they really do mix the, like, classic, traditional, like, stuff in areas with a very futuristic. Even in, like, Colombia, you have that, you know, there's, obviously the US doesn't have thousands of years of history as a country. Now, technically, you could bring Native American work into it, but that becomes difficult because then you're not looking at big cities, really. Well, in the North America. In South America, you have the Inca, you have the Aztecs, you have some things like that, but that'd be more for Bolivar, because that's South America. North America, you didn't really have as much in the way of big cities. You had a lot of, like, interconnected networks of smaller groups. I wonder why. Probably something to do with agriculture. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Alright. You're surprisingly well versed in Minoan history. And surprisingly honest, just talking about, yeah, when Sargon fucking invaded and burned shit to the ground. Unfortunately, the original plans of the first temple have been lost and thus cannot be perfectly recreated. However, there's quite a bit of classical tradition in the way that they're building the temple. What do you mean? To revive the Minoan spirit, we must emulate the heroes who built Athenaeus and build the temple of our own accord. Before the referendum took place, these words by the original proponent moved everyone's hearts, and the vote on rebuilding the temple passed almost unanimously. No engineering blueprint, no staffing. Caseria's first temple shall be built through the passion of the Minoan people and the veneration of the heroes that flows in their veins. Wow, a living example of the Minoan spontaneousness that's driven so much artistic achievement. These two get along like a house on fire. My good, these two get along really well immediately. These two is actually just like golden retriever person to golden retriever person communication. They're just like complete vibes match. Thank you. I hope it's completed soon. Rebuilding in the classical style. How interesting. The proponent of the rebuilding must be an ambitious hero beloved by the people. How can I describe that Forte lady? I know who it is. Why is he taking so much time to think? Did you ask a question you shouldn't have? Even if I did, I'm sure Hecademos won't mind. He looks so nice after all. Maybe he's choosing his words carefully with a Minoan love of poetry. Give me 3 seconds, Karia Mashair. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Alright. You've thought of the answer? No, it's now 5 o'clock and my shift is over. Okay, I'm digging this guy. He's got that enforcer, like, I work 9 to 5 on the clock. I am clocking out. Huh? I'll answer your question tomorrow when I'm back at work. Enjoy your visit. But we aren't even at the first temple yet. See those scaffolds? The street is a stone's throw from the main entrance of the temple. I'm sure you can find your own way. Wait! Now if you'll excuse me, I have a drinking engagement with a friend. He'll kill me if I'm late. Goodbye! Okay, I'm digging Akademos. I like him. You know, I was worried that Masuma's gonna Graviteus would just take me around to see mundane tourist sites, leaving me with nothing to talk about when we get back. You've got a way of smoothing things over for people, you know that? If you ask me, I think the differential-looking Libri kid just enjoyed a 3-hour break. He probably did. Bro was just hard chilling. Well, no need to complain. There's plenty of time. Let's check out the surrounding area. This is the land of heroes and heroes after all. Maybe we'll walk out the door and straight into a heroic epic. I knew it. You came looking for an adventure. That's I came to you when I left the Grand Bazaar because I wanted a sugar mommy with money. Little did I know you're such a troublemaker. I wanted mommy, I wanted milk, I wanted to be held, I wanted to be comforted. And here we are. Caught you! Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool! Imagine this in 3D where you could move around it. At this point, I say this for like every single event since Enfield has come out. It's so cool! Terra is so cool! Look at that! The background artist, however much they get paid for this, should get paid more. Like, this is just incredible. It is incredible. He's on the run. Keep your distance. That's no way to treat your old preschool classmates. I remember you were much more passionate back when you participated in debate competitions at Theros Temple. Quiet down already, loudmouth. Looks like you know I've come to debate you. Don't worry, if you lose, I'll sing your defeat through a megaphone in standard hexameter. Besides, you're the one who gave me the nickname Blaring Megaphone in return. I called you Eloquent Rock! Eloquent Rock! Blaring Megaphone! So glad the two great Athenian debaters are here. We're saved. Come with me. The apple farmers are making a scene in the temple, saying the construction workers are delaying the quarrying to ruin this year's harvest by keeping the apples from sunlight. A cool little design. What about Palace? The people may have chosen to build the temple of their own accord, but she was the initial proponent. Why don't you talk to her to resolve your disputes? Cause she's fucking stupid. Wait, cause she's always drunk and she's just like starts vomiting all over the floor. I've been crazy busy. No one's seen her since last night. Maybe someone else needed her? People heard about it. They were all excited to emulate the heroes in building the temple, doing as much or as little work anyone had time for. Who could have thought that things would get so chaotic, delaying the city's move to sunnier climes? Please, find us a solution through debate, or at least find us a loser. I guess the two of us in a room naturally drives people to think of debate. That's why I said keep your distance and keep quiet. How was I supposed to know? Just because you're smart doesn't mean you should skip the explanation, go straight to the conclusion. Actually, no, that's not right. I did come to debate you. Everything's working out. I'm busy. Always the same excuse after all these years. How unfair did you win that debate championship with such a bland tongue? Thank you. Don't muddle your way out of this. For years you've been running before I can finish the word debate. Don't forget there's still a competition we haven't settled. Come on, who are you arguing for? The fruit farmers or the temple workers? You've known me long enough to know that I don't lie. Going to the new Oripathy clinic to get medicine. Can you move? What? Oripathy medicine? Didn't he pick up some last Wednesday? Is he getting worse? I need to find out. Hey, don't go! Performers and our guys are about to come to blows. You're gonna solve our problem. We can't just pull some random soul off the street. Oh no, it's a random soul off the street! Look, Mio, so many people here in the temple. Looks like the Athenians are really excited to rebuild it. I feel like joining in myself. Excuse me, sir, are you looking for someone to help? God damn it, Titi. There's every time it's like, God, I sure hope there's not like a Sargonian around her. God, I sure hope there's not just a random person off the street. The nefarious CHUD wife. Titi is so lovable. I like the whole gang in the Pepe event. I honestly like them a lot more than I thought I would. Pepe is so much less annoying than I expected, and like I really expected like Papyrus, you know, a Knot to be like a total pushover pussy, but like she's got a real temper on her. Like she crashes out as much as she like gets really like scared and timid. She crashes out like just as often.
Are you moving or not? No! Are you moving or not? No!
What a passionate debate! I can feel the heroic blood in their voices, but they're not
Actually saying anything. You have to hate on Pepe. Why? I think her design is dog shit still. I still think her design is dog shit. But the character, I don't mind.
They're yelling at the top of their lungs. I don't even know what they're saying. The dispute over Athenius' route has been brewing between the few fruit farmers and the temple builders for ages. Embarrassing, really, to make a random tourist off the street try to solve our dispute. Heck, I couldn't even tell half of what they're saying.
You said you want to know what they're saying?
That is not the expression of someone who's here to solve a problem. That is the expression of someone who's here to create a problem.
Stop looking for trouble, Titi.
This random tourist off the street has an idea.
Hey, don't just wander in there. Things could get rough.
Just fucking her there. So unserious.
Grassman Rep and the militiamen arguing on behalf of the fruit farmers are not budging in the slightest. Their faces red with anger. You fail to notice the pair of pointy black ears poking out from beneath the stone table. Tiny feeling girl leaps out and grabs their hands with a grin, bringing them together in a handshake. Caught off guard, the two reps lose their balance and topple onto the stone table, staring at the jolly intruder.
Hey, you brought this girl to the temple. There's no place for children. See, you're so unreasonable. Even an Outlander's embarrassed. You're a disgrace to Athenius. Stop adding fuel to the fire. Listen, girl, this is a Minoan business. We don't need some foreigner telling us how to make up.
Who said anything about making up? You're gonna fucking arm wrestle for it.
What?
Oh my god, they actually hit the wah-huh? They actually hit the fucking wah-huh? Amazing. Also, I just realized I should have been in like the full screen mode. You guys have had to look at that ugly little bar at the bottom of the screen. I'm sorry. Where is it?
The only way to solve a problem is to face it directly. How long do you think the peace would last, even if you made up here and now? Besides, what Aminos do as the Minoans do. The heroic epics and fantastical stories of Minos are full of ancient wisdom. You don't need me to tell you how to solve your problems. They say the mere mention of Heracles, the great Minoan warrior, sent enemies fleeing in terror. But he never raised a hand against his fellow Minoans. If someone insulted him, he challenged them to arm wrestling.
Settle with the kindness of strength, eh? Sounds good. Spare us a sore throat.
I'm not done yet. There's another legend about a silent hero who was once a bold, passionate youth surrounded by flowers and adoration. As fate would have it, he learned a forbidden secret, knowledge no one should possess, so he kept silent for 30 years.
Wait, we know the legend of Heracles, but who's this silent hero? Did you make him up on the spot?
Oh, it's a Minoan tale my father used to tell me. It's rather obscure, but it's a really good parable. Anyways, I propose you follow in the footsteps of ancient Minos and settle us with an arm wrestling match, with one extra condition. You only get to talk if you win, no matter how pissed you might be.
Never heard of that rule before.
Are you poor with words or weak of limb?
Enough talk, let's do it.
Alright, the inaugural first ever arm wrestling tournament is on. Ready, set, go!
Well, the militiaman looks lean, but he's got skills. He takes round one with a big guy loses focus for a second. You!
There's Krasin and then the militiaman guy.
Shut it. Loser doesn't get to talk. New apples can't get out with all the stone piled up at the crossing. The orchards are all in the mountain shadow, and the apples that haven't ripened yet don't get any sun. The whole harvest going to the dumps at this rate. 1-0. Round 2. Hey, all those muscles ain't for nothing. Looks like hauling marbles. Good exercise. We can't move the stone until the apples are out of the way. Besides, the building of the first temple was inspired by the Minoan heroes. Who's gonna take responsibility if the work's delayed? You? 1-1. Next.
Apple harvesting and hauling stone. I see.
Minoans sure are fun to watch, but things will get less interesting when they start to get tired.
Hey, why do they stop?
I've realized the arm wrestling isn't about determining a victor, but giving them an opportunity to hear each other out. When you're angry, your ears stop working, and even simple things become complicated, much less long-standing disputes.
You're more thoughtful than you look. How do you solve the core problem now that you've gotten emotion out of the way? These are very interesting, the design, the militiaman. Looks like a draw. Young lady.
Call me Titi.
It's not like we screwed the fruit farmers on purpose, Titi. We got a lot of hands in the rebuilding. But they only quarry stone where they please, when they please, where they please. Brought 15 tons of marble down the mountain by myself yesterday, and it's still far from enough.
Look, we understand, but the apples don't care. Increasing quarrying efficiency while getting enough sun for the apples. Why don't we meet in the middle then?
What do you mean?
Just remove the peak that's blocking the sunlight.
Some middle, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It is intriguing, though.
Out of personal curiosity, I studied urban planning and natural environment of Athenius on my way here. The peak that's in the way of the sunlight is only a secondary peak with soft soil at the top and a large marble layer underneath. It would make an excellent quarry.
I mean, we can get sunlight to the orchards by leveling the peak without having to change the city's route? It's not even possible?
The fruit farmers must join the quarriers. Adding more hands is the quickest way to increase efficiency. Plus, you need to get the craftsmen scattered across the mountains together. You can carry 15 tons of marble a day all by yourself.
And leveling the peak is not impossible. The rebuilding of the temple was the collective decision of the citizens of Athenius. We certainly won't complain if we can solve the sunlight problem at the same time. I'll go talk to the farmers.
Problem solved!
Well, thanks to you, Titi.
Don't mention it. It looks amazing, even in its incomplete state. I'm even more curious about the one running the project.
Speaking of which, we still have a problem.
What is it?
The original proponent of the first temple project, Palace, went missing last night.
Probably a drunken bender. Probably. We don't know, but like probably. Most likely. She's fine. She's in a ditch somewhere, but she's fine.
How joyous for both of us, but now eternal peace is yours alone. The breeze in the mountains of Heria and the rivers of the Agnes plains shall shine in your eyes no more. Neither shall my heart know the tranquility of night and the leisure of day again. It's been 7 years, Ithacos, old friend.
The tall warrior places the cyclamen and flowers before the white grave marker. His movements are light, but several white petals still fall upon the ground. A pretty little area here.
You're late.
I'm simply passing through on my way to a bird and beast ranch with a view.
You can find all the excuses you want, but you know you can't let it go. Neither can I.
You haven't once visited the Endymion Temple in your 5 years in Athenius. The first and last time you came was when you brought Ithacos' body chitin.
I don't need the guidance of the heroes.
But you continue to dream the same dream. You blame yourself for sending Ithacos across the river to the battle where he died.
The river runs only in my dreams now, since the Sargonians built a dam upstream. Brought the melting snow from Heria's peaks to my homeland. It brought him.
Ithacos was one of the few friends that I had, one who was never concerned for who I am or what I can do. His family was tormented by the fires of war. His father lived most of his life as a broken man, but he would not accept the same fate. His eyes were bright and eager when he received divine revelation. Whatever the outcome, he found a friend and a brother in you. Did he ever visit you in your dreams, telling you not to mourn him anymore?
It's your place to interpret my dreams, and mine to mourn and remember. I will soothe my rage in my own way.
The war is over. Sargon has signed a non-aggression pact with us. The visit by the Sargonian mission is a symbol of our new relationship.
I know that. Lydia made the point to put me in my place. First as the most in Athenian history, elected by popular vote, empowered to handle diplomatic matters and certain public issues independent of the council and the priests. She's caused you a fair share of trouble, hasn't she?
And Midian Temple has not been affected yet, but some fringe clerics in the roles of their temples are being marginalized. Besides, Caesaria's first temple is nearing completion. Should be a ceremonial play organized by the priests to call the spirit of Caesaria into the temple and grant Mignos her protection. And the play is being organized by the Astynomos' office. The Astynomos' purpose to
assent when I discussed this matter with her a few days ago. But she was evasive when it came to the program we choose.
To her, the priests and the ceremonies are just props to promote Minoan tourism. Your insistence on using canonized classical drama will only be seen as an act of aggression by the priesthood.
I understand that reform is inevitable, but
some things will not and cannot change. Lydia's little power plays on the administrative side are none of my business, but I won't stand idly by if the Sargonian visitors have ill intent. I'm no hero, just an ordinary infected, and I don't need the guidance of divine revelation, but I still dream. If I tell you that I dreamt of a river running red with blood as Ithacus did 9 years ago, how would you interpret it?
Santos.
Excuse me, I have work to do at the crossing and an apprentice waiting for me.
You're really too kind, Titi. Not only did you solve our dispute with the fruit farmers, you're also really helping us look for Pallas.
It's nothing. Besides, I want to meet the one who came up with the temple project face to face. This Pallas was last seen at the crossing?
Yes. She was sitting on the docks, drinking and muttering in the direction of distant Mount Himnoi. She's helped us with so many things since the rebuilding of the temple began, but she doesn't hold any position in the temples of Athenius, and Cassandra from the Nemean Temple is the one in charge of the responsibilities that are above board. Pallas was the one who took care of everything behind the scenes, from the division of labor to procurement to smoothing things over with the right people. Isn't Cassandra the figure in Greek mythology that's she had the prophetic dreams but no one listened to her or something? She could see the future but she was cursed to have no one believe her? I think is the original Cassandra in Greek mythology. Maybe I'm crazy and misremembering.
I see. It's certainly concerning that someone so reliable would go missing all of a sudden.
Well, it's not the first time.
Almost forgot to ask, what does she look like?
Small Forte lady. Always seems like she's half asleep. Wears a little flower on her head.
A little flower? Kind with 2 leaves and petals so red you can't see the wrinkles?
Yes, how did you know?
Does it look like that? The craftsman turns in the direction Titi's pointing to see a small red flower swing gently in a pile of apples.
Yes, it does, but that's one of the apple farmer's crates, isn't it? What's a flower doing there? Wait, there's something inside. Duck! There's a creature in there. It is as though the crate has just woken up, sending ripe apples pouring across the docks, falling into the clear waters of the Delphi Canal. Forte slides out from the bed of fruit, rubbing her eyes at the sudden influx of bright sunlight. Pallas! Guys, no need for the boat. We found Pallas.
This is Pallas, the people's hero, the proponent and reliable supervisor of the rebuilding plan. She's not quite what I imagined. Titi approaches the young woman on the ground curiously. She examines the horns for signs of battle, trying to determine her weapon's construction, whether it's able to support unique originium arts. She has the urge to reach for the mysterious little flower to see if it is a boon from the Minoan heroes. But Titi senses nothing unusual except for the sweet scent of apples. The young woman seems to have woken up. Titi leans in to hear what she's muttering.
Mount Himnoi, the western peak, level it, so let sunlight through. Tell the farmers was missing. The apple cider was missing, man. Yes, apple cider should be shed. Yeah. What the fuck? Yeah.
Leveling the peak to solve the sunlight problem? So she came to the same conclusion I did. She's thinking about rebuilding the temple, even in her sleep. Who says the hero has to be big and brawny? How can I forget I'm in Minos, not Sargon? Who are you? We meet at last, Pallas, first proponent of the rebuilding of Caesarius' first temple. I am Medjehtiqedti Nasatu Masahir, ambassador from Sargon. What? And my friends call me Titi. Everyone calls me Titi. No one remembers my name.
Alright. Chat, if you've been here for any of these before, you know what time it is. Want to take a pause here. We gotta take a piss break. All that drinking to keep the throat moistened up. All them liquids gotta come out. They gotta come out as soon as they enter. We're probably gonna look to get up to, if possible, ME4 after today. So we got a ways to go, but I think some of these should, the first chapters tend to be very long, and it tends to be some of the middle chapters tend to be a little shorter, because the first ones have to establish everything. And like the conclusions and the first and like later last chapters tend to be the longest because they have to set up and conclude things. Either way, I'm gonna take a quick piss break. Enjoy. I'm gonna expand the Minecraft parkour for you guys. Expand your engagement video. There you go. I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty then. You know, being back to pissing, good. You know, I was not, you know, when I was sick, I was not pissing so often because, you know, I was kind of just like shitting basically straight liquid. So it's like, it's kind of a nice sign to be back to actually like needing to piss. That means things are getting a little bit better on some other fronts as I recover from my illness. Oh, alrighty. You got the workers and farmers to calm down by having them arm wrestle as Heracles did? You're a clever one, Titi. But you already found the solution last night. You just fell asleep in a pile of apples due to exhaustion. Shame about the apple cider. You were planning to treat the workers and farmers and get them to work together after they got a little tipsy, weren't you? Correct, but it's been put to good use to treat an honored guest. No better medicine for sickness. If you're still feeling it, you must more drinking. You must. Oh, so sweet. It's good. Please tell me honestly. Even though we had the same idea, was it perhaps inappropriate for me to interfere with the rebuilding of the first temple? Because you're the Sargoni ambassador? Yeah, because Sargon was Just ask this question, Titi. Do you think the White Man King's conquest of Minos was necessary? No. Even though it distracted Sargon's from initial strife? The Empire needs to solve its own issues. Blaming it on innocent neighbors is a sign of incompetence. Although I probably wouldn't be so frank back in Sargon. Fine, fine, Wes. Have another drink, yabba! If you're buying, I'm in! The voice starts slowly turning into Gragas. Oh. I don't think a woman so carefree and whimsical would be so pointed when discussing history. As long as the answer comes from the heart and not concerned for your own safety, I think we'll become very good friends. Priestess Palace? Is this how you address a friend? Then just Palace. I believe one must not forget oneself, no matter where one goes. Pepe, a friend of mine back in Sargon, says my train of thought is all over the place and I have no common sense. That's another matter entirely. I think that's I think that's unmedicated ADHD, honestly, at that point. I started realizing that. Then I'd have to remember to take medication, and that's just, I can't do that. Looks like the Sargonian Pedicles made a wise choice of picking you to lead the mission.
Don't worry, the workers and farmers are very fond of you. You know a bad egg when you see one. You don't hate all Sargonians, except the one guy that did say that he hates all Sargonians that you saw earlier. He does. Besides, something like this, simply participating in rebuilding the first temple is hardly crossing any lines. As long as it helps solve problems. What do you mean? Look at the pillars, reliefs, and decorations inside the temple. Most of the details are unfinished. As the amphitheater outside, there's no slope with the audience seat, so anyone behind the third row can't see what's going on in the center. And the considered statue is supposed to be in the middle of the theater. It's still being polished by its perfectionist sculptor. That's a huge ass problem. There's no need to weigh your words. It's not like we're writing poetry. Everyone knows that our progress has been way behind schedule. Have another drink! Oh, fuck! No, there's no hard and fast deadline. Things will get done eventually, even if the pursuit of perfection keeps delaying things, but a lot of people will be affected if the delay continues. The orchard harvest. Yes, I'm wrestling a cider. Might not solve things next time. Speaking of cider, you're going through it quickly. You want another cup? Please, I do have a question though. What is it? You help the craftsmen solve their problems and they rely on you, but you don't look concerned at all, even though you're supposed to be the project supervisor. Huh? No, I wasn't ever the supervisor. Say what now? The old tradition only calls for a priest, in this case Cassandra, to give the go-ahead. There's no supervisor for the project itself. That's not a job for an idle drunk like me. However, you look like a reasonable gal and you catch on quick. What did you say? I was distracted. No, nothing. This might actually be a bad idea. You went through a whole bottle already. You sure can always just drink. One brew's pretty strong, you know. Something's not right. Did you say the cider would help with my boat sickness? I don't seem to get dizzier and dizzier. Aye, booze dizziness beats water dizziness, right? Drink until you pass out and everything will be fine when you wake up the next morning, including a bit of boat sickness. What, huh? Well, doink. I'm sorry, Father, Mother. I've been infected with neuropathy. John Volk would never let an infected take over, so now I'm free to do what I want, right? I know I can't stay at home any longer. I'll move out as soon as I can. Don't worry about me. I'm able to care for myself now, and I don't need to trouble my family for anything. But if it's alright, could you leave my flower garden where it is? They're just plants, neuropathy won't taint them. Please, let me say goodbye.
And perfumer. Kind of funny that we're getting her when it's like, man. Oh shit, this is her coming back. Oh fuck. I was like, yeah, because that would be her originally, way ago. And now that's going to be her coming back. With the new design. Very whimsical. Very springy, with a lot of green and white. It's been a long time since I last came back to Athenius. Did I forget the way? Public garden west of the Agora. I should be in the right place. Where's Cassandra?
Do you think a member of the Athenian Council would meet with a... Okay, yeah.
Okay. Do you think a member of the Athenian Council would meet privately with a Rhodes Islander in a public place? Looks like you've been away for so long you've forgotten how things work here. Lydia, it was you who wanted to see me. I heard you're the Astenemos of Athenius now. I'd wanted to catch up with you sometime, but setting up the Rhodes Island branch office took so much time. I know, you've done a lot of things for the infected in the 2 months you've been back in Athenius. You could hardly have found the time to come home. I don't plan on going home, Lydia. Don't worry. You won't run into those vain relatives, even if you went back to the estate. What is it? 2 years ago, the Athapoli family declared bankruptcy and quit the herd business. The remaining family members have since moved out of Athenius. I see. Looks like you don't really care anymore. There isn't much worth remembering about the place, other than my garden. Your mother used to bring you to play with me in the garden. She came to our house after she passed away. I taught you about plants and their fragrances. You showed little interest, but you planted the blue boreas with me together, just like the ones here. You've really forgotten. Wait, don't tell me. This public garden. This is the flower bed where you studied and planted medicinal herbs.
Your parents sold the land to the Athenian government to pay off their debts soon after I became Astinamos. Do you think they would protect it, honor the request of the daughter they exiled? You've changed, Lydia. You're a lot more negative. See, for a damn guess I'll leave it then. Look what you've done, Laffy. Look what you fucking done. He comes in and thinks there was hate for Pepe when I did nothing but compliment Pepe. And now you've lost a viewer. Look what you've done. Unbelievable. Ridiculous. Visiting the infected, contacting the healing priest, and even reaching out to Cassandra to make sure the veneration of traditional heroism by the infected would not get in the way of their treatment. Handling procedure used to be your great weakness. Now you've learned to circumvent the parts of the city administration where the power structure is yet unclear and go over the head of the new Astinamos. I see. You didn't come to reminisce about old times. You want to prevent me from talking to the priest. To take the authority to establish and maintain the infected medical system from the Athenian Council and give it to the Astinamos. You picked up on that fast. It wouldn't be the first time Rhodes Island has dealt with a power-hungry official. What Rhodes Island does in an unofficial capacity is none of my business. Be it making visits or distributing medicine, you are already doing it without communication with the Astinamos. This is the internet, Laffy. No one looks for context. They just get a knee-jerk reaction to the first thing they read. You should know this. Nuance is dead. Have you not seen Twitter? But you know that changes are coming to meet us. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Laffy, you're off the hook. You're off the hook. You're saved. Oh. Be it rebuilding the first temple, the visit of the Sargonian mission, or the establishment of an orpathy treatment system, the legends of the Minoan heroes are in our blood, but the same traditions have also brought convoluted governance, inefficient systems, and backward thinking. You know that better than anyone else. I want to say you can do whatever you want as long as an orpathy treatment system is established and my patients get what they need, but you're the only one in the family I still care about. You're my sister, and I don't want you to put yourself in danger. Looks like our dear ambassador actually did go strolling off to visit the temple construction site. All's well, I suppose. She'll be a fine distraction while I dig into this Astinamos' background. This is someone he really delayed. She's intentionally stalling. She shows us any disrespect. Make the preparations. We're going to the Astinamos' office. Stray tourist. It's a fucking baby! What? Who's this girl? Guards? Well, this guy. Well, this guy looks like a fuckboy. Beg your pardon, Your Excellency. This is my traveling companion. We hail from Gorinia and Lactamon, invited to attend the ceremony as guests. She's passionate about Sargonian culture and insists on catching a glimpse of the ambassador upon hearing that the mission is lodging here. I couldn't stop her. The ambassador. You have sharp eyes. You were invited to attend, though. I haven't heard anything from the Astinamos. I understand the venue of the exchange ceremony has not been confirmed. I shouldn't have babbled then. Perhaps Lydia intended it to be a surprise. I am Perendos, priest of Corinia. We learned about the diplomatic mission to Athenia 6 months ago. 6 months? That long ago? Yes, the climate of Sargon is very different from that of Minos. Lydia asked me to procure Sargonian-made goods from Corinia in order to make you and the rest of the delegation feel at home. I hope you're enjoying your accommodations. Ah, so this was your handiwork. Lydia has devoted tremendous time and effort to ensuring the ceremony is a success. Glad fuckboy is the first thing I hear when I show up. Or as always. I mean, does this guy not look like a fuckboy? This guy's a fuckboy. 100% is a fuckboy. Like, does he not clearly look like a fuckboy? Unfortunately, some of their fabric meant for costumes for the play have yet to make their way to Heria Cassandra, resulting in significant delay. Did she mention anything? A play? Astinamos did mention that plays are part of every important occasion, but who's this Heria Cassandra? I thought this matter was entirely managed by the Astinamos' office. Ah, it all makes sense now. I almost misunderstood what she meant.
No one should have specific instructions not to use the traditional fabric for classical plays. I'm so grateful for the heads up. The cotton used for this event is a hybrid of Sargonian and Minoan species that make a smooth and strong cloth that signifies the lasting peace between our two nations. That's what Lydia insisted on waiting. I see. So this is the reason she delayed the ceremony? Delayed! I'm so sorry about that. I really apologize for the trouble. Do not take Lydia's best intentions the wrong way. Very well. It would be impolite to rush her if she is taking this ceremony so seriously. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. You are too kind. Please, make yourselves at home for a few days while preparations for the ceremony continue. Don't look at me like that. I came with you when you made 3 rounds of the food stalls in the morning. Only fair that you should come with me here. How much of what you said was actually true? The Sargonian delegation has entered the city and the Estemus invited us to attend the ceremony, but she didn't tell us anything about our arrangements. What choice do I have but to figure this out on my own? I assuaged his concerns for her, didn't I? The merchants of Corinia would not be famous or at Terra if profit were the only thing on their minds. Now, it's not polite to say that out loud. Although I do love money. Let's say, No issues with the respiratory tract or vocal cords. The crystals in the lungs have not spread, meaning that when you came to the Rhodes Island office a few days ago and stared blankly at our medics, it wasn't because your condition prevented you from speaking. Looks like I didn't have to come personally. We've done a lot for the infected of Athenius. Rhodes Island's medicine is far more effective than what we had before. I'll appreciate what you've done. I won't take up any more of your time. A checkup alone isn't enough. Minoan policies are relatively lenient when it comes to the infected, with the exception of certain occupations, like the priesthood, that the everyday lives of the infected are usually not significantly affected. Many people still believe that Euripathy saps the Minoan heroic spirit, though. That's why many patients are indifferent about treatment, even trying to hide their conditions. How many fingers am I holding up? 4. Thank you for the concern, Kyria Athapaulu. My condition is mild. The illness has not affected my vision. Then why did you visit the Rhodes Island office 4 times in the past 2 weeks? Well, you're not a great liar. Besides, I saw Rhodes Island monitoring bracelet on Xanthos, your mentor. Have you been obtaining medication on his behalf? Yes. He forgets his appointment because he has so many things on his plate. It's only reasonable that I should pick up his medicine for him. We should not register his name with the office, which means there are no records of him having contracted Euripathy. He saved my life, taught me the lore of the water and the art of combat. He's been a good mentor to me. I didn't want people to know. To know that he couldn't be a hero? Visiting the Euripathy clinic may color how others view you in Xanthos, but it will not change the path that you choose for yourselves. I'm not Cassandra, and soothing the heart isn't my thing, but I know that both of you need proper treatment. I'll move the 2 of you up the priority list and follow up closely on your conditions. You can prepare yourselves for a lot of nagging. You're more tenacious than you look. I wouldn't have to be if I could buy your cooperation with a few grains of corn like the foul beast perching on your bow. Sorry. So where is Xanathos? Anyway, if your recent reports were indeed his, then he's suffered significant fluctuations in his eternal originium levels during this time. He needs rest, as I said. I told him, but, don't tell me he went to the crossing again. He went to the crossing again. I'll make the obligatory 31 to 32 joke. Oh, yeah. Medicine. Oh, just go check. Yeah. Okay. Oh. So much liquid drank. Now we're on. Now we're busting the water bottle as well. We're getting through everything.
I'm busy preparing boats for the fruit farmers and craftsmen. Make it quick, Academos.
Why isn't Lycon around to help? Never thought he'd let you out of his sight.
He took a day off. Home visit by a Rhodes Island doctor.
Home visit? Did the medicine he picked up not work? Is he so sick he can't even walk?
If you came to communicate the Astenos' suggestion, you're wasting your time. Tell her I'll deal with the problem at the crossing. There's no need for her to worry.
Actually, she sent me to inform me that the problem has been resolved.
Resolved? Alice acted quickly this time.
No, it wasn't her who came up with the solution.
Who was it then? Did Cassandra calm the people down? Did the Astenos pull another one of her little tricks?
Neither. It was the Sargonian ambassador who resolved the dispute between the craftsmen and the fruit farmers. Small feline with dark skin and black ears.
a black-eared feline with dark skin. That Colombian I ferried across the secondary crossing that morning. She was the Sargonian ambassador? Fuck!
Ancient Minoans saw the beauty of marble and sculpted legends and epics with hammers and chisels. In the Carasperia, Caracera walked through war and plague, wearing out 30 pairs of shoes before she arrived at the mountain-rimmed garden. At the site of the first temple, she saw a boulder split and received a revelation from the gods. Her gentle and wise visage reflected in the Athenian morning sun. She protected the refugees who followed her, and drove the outlanders out with her sword and her harp. Sings only the tale of the heroes! There's a little inside of some of the temple. Avoid cancellation, Sally. Hey, I don't dislike that TT's got dark skin, but that man, that Sargonian hater, I think he probably does. You're familiar with the Carasperia? I love it. I've read it so many times I can probably recite it from memory. Carasperia gave me my first impression of the heroes of Minos. A hero must be a paragon of justice and kindness. A hero must face fate bravely when it comes and carry their own burden. I wasn't exaggerating when he said you could recite it. Regarding words printed on a page doesn't compare to the experience of standing in front of Caracera's statue. Even if the sculptor exaggerated Caracera's miracles, even if those were not her original arts, perhaps it's this artistic license that makes it feel so alive. I can easily picture it standing on this fertile soil a century or 10 later. Are you thinking you'd be willing to wait a decade or more for Caracera's first temple to be completed to the standard of this statue? Not quite. I want to see as much as I can before the exchange is done. I have to leave Minos. So, Caracera's statue is complete, and the amphitheater has proper steps now? Thanks in large part to your suggestion. The fruit farmers have been working even harder than the craftsmen in the quarries in order to get sunlight to the altars as soon as possible. Stone meant for the temple is being used on the amphitheater first? I read about it in the books, but the Minoan love of theater is really something. Heroes come from the people, and the people aspire to become heroes, even if only in drama. What are your Sargon of your race? He is a 6-foot personal space roll, indeed. I'm surprised that dripped out like this he would ever believe if it'll load. What the fuck? That's not Titi. Well, no, you can't see it, but dripped out like Titi, I'm surprised he'd ever believe that's not just a Sargonian. Have you identified the inspiration for the statue? Caracera and the Outlander, chapter 11 of the Carasperia. It was adapted into a famous classical drama that's often used in temple ceremonies honoring the heroes, but I visited a few theaters in my time here and I haven't seen it on the program anywhere. Are plays made for religious ceremonies banned in normal theaters? No, Caracera and the Outlander is a part of the standard classic repertoire. It's not been staged for a century, however, even in the temples. A century? Could it be? Yeah, it was banned during the Sargonian occupation. The play's setting dates back to before the establishment of Minos as a nation, and Outlanders refer to those not of ancient Agamemnon kingdom in general. When the Sargonian parish was banned to play, the Outlander executed Bar Caracera took on a set meaning. And the ban's no more, but to play the Outlander in the play means playing a Sargonian, and no Athenian would willingly do that. Yeah, you're a Sargonian! Minos actually located in Rhodes Island. Yeah. I mean, it's Rhodes Island and like ancient Greece, right? There's like Athenius and Corinthia and stuff. Be it the banal performances or the burning of the theaters, the heroism inherent in the history and legend depicted by the plays is not so easily forgotten. Even if no one performs it and the music accompanying the play can no longer be heard on the streets, any Athenian can still recite its most famous scenes. That's enough. No. What is it? The first temple was destroyed by war, and Caracera and the Outlander was banned. There's no denying that Sargon's brought great pain to Minos. The Padishah's order to return the Minoan relic is not so much compensation as political posturing. Well, as the Sargonian ambassador is just to escort the relic to its destination. I'm not from an influential family, nor do I have a distinguished career. There isn't much I can do. So the curator of the Varshavandabad Museum. Knowledge will not betray me. The relic I am bringing is associated with Caracera. It has great significance to Minos. It should not be a mere political bargaining chip. He looks up at the statue of Caracea with her harp, beautiful and awe-inspiring. She seems to hear the harp sing a song that only the heroes are meant to hear. Sees familiar stories and legends flash before her eyes. The amphitheater is barely finished. The scaffolds and tarps have yet to be taken away. And then, however, Titi feels something special. Something that belongs only to Minos. Written in the epics. Carved into the marble by the stonemasons. Something that's endured and still stands, even after a century of oppression. I want to hold the exchange ceremony here. Really? That's an interesting idea, but matters concerning Cassara's first temple must be discussed with the temple priests. Cassandra, what brings you here today? Forgive me for interrupting. There's something that I must discuss with Palace in private, Your Excellency. What the fuck are you doing?
But yeah, this is very important. He's only mentioned once in all of Argonauts. The name of the boss stage, Chapter 10, Operation Helos. It's very odd.
Yeah, it is odd. Vu, member for 8 months. Thank you. Thank you, Fu. It is Fu, right? If it's like Vietnamese, or is it Pho? Like when it's a V, is it like an F sound in English, like a pho? Free as fuck. With the free member sufas. Yep. Hey, as long as it shows up, as long as it shows up, that's what matters. The W sound. Woo. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. This is the first time you shown since that young acolyte of yours glared at me last week. It's not easy managing an Minion temple and the rebuilding of the first temple at the same time. Folly is just worried that I'm overworked. She knows we've been friends since our preschool days. Which made it all the harder to accept that I about to travel as soon as I got back, I guess. Alice. I knew we were both in trouble when you showed up at the Enmian Temple to have your dream interpreted as an ordinary Minoan instead of using the priest's passage 6 months ago. In most cases, divine revelation can be classified into certain common categories, whether it came in the form of a dream or a sudden vision. Oh no, we learned them by heart at school, so ordinary priests without special talents could guard those who receive revelations. But the vision that you brought, well, I found any classic tale. I had no doubt that it was a powerful revelation, which made me feel very uneasy. Don't worry, we'll find a way. You shouldn't have quit the priesthood. You might have been able to find help. And all in my condition, continuing to be the legendary goddess of victory on the border? I didn't want to complicate things, even if another has taken up the title. Besides, the heroes came a long way to call me back. I had to be honest with myself. Looks like Rhodes Island treated you well. Of course. Did I ever tell you I founded a Minoan League on Rhodes Island? Are there so many Minoans who left home to seek treatment? There are plenty, although Eroto and Vulcan are the only true Minoans in the League. The others are in it because they have a spiritual fascination. Have you ever heard of a weeb? They're like Minoan weebs. Like, they're just Minoaboos. That's the main thing that that they bring to the table. They're just kind of here for the vibes. I'll introduce them when we have a chance. They're all full of heroic spirit with a great passion for poetry, art, and brewing. So you founded a drinking league. There's one way to put it. It's not quite the same as having you around, though. You may not be able to hold your drink particularly well, but no one in our year brewed better than you, let me tell you. I remember how you tied your sleeves and pounded the grapes like a seasoned winemaker at the intercollegiate conference. You looked amazing. I see you have a craving. What happened to the formula I gave you?
I lost it when I went to karate. I finally escaped my torment when my Sarkaz bodyguard gave me the recipe for the secret brew of Kazdel. I never worried you'd have trouble making friends. First the Sargon and bodyguard, now the Sarkaz bodyguard, now the Sargonian ambassador. Sarkaz bodyguard. He never even got a name, but he was a good character. In his brief time. You heard about the fruit farmers and the craftsmen. Titi can be trusted. I don't doubt Gariameshe's cleverness or her friendly outlook towards our country, but her position remains sensitive. If it didn't stop you, would you put her in charge of the play that we already discussed, in addition to the venue of the exchange ceremony? Is it that you trust her too much, or... You're frowning again, Cassandra. I'll just let myself get a little lazy, having been away from the priesthood for so long. You would never have become a legend in the Borderlands if you were the type to shirk responsibility. I don't mind taking charge of their building project on your behalf, I just think it's a shame. You're better at dealing with people, and the craftsmen trust you. I thought you made the proposal to the people so they'd return to the heroic tradition and remember the heroic spirit. I did! That's exactly why it doesn't matter who's in charge. Our people venerate heroes, but they've gradually forgotten that Minoan prosperity was not only built by heroes. Is he Palace in Rhodes Island? He would. The heroes came from the people, from all walks of life. You could always read my mind. I know what you're trying to say, but with they're building the temple entering its final stage, it's even more important than ever to have a supervisor. I think we'll have one soon. What is it? I saw Lydia heading to the temple square. What do you think this Astinamos, who has quietly been at odds with us from the beginning, is trying to take the play out of the priest's hands, is going there for? We meet at last, Your Excellency Ambassador Mashair. And who might you be? I'm the Astinamos of Athenius, called Lildia, not Lilia. That's a League of Legends champion. I'm overseeing this relic exchange between our two nations. Oh, I'm so sorry, Astinamos. I should have visited you first thing when I got to Athenius. I didn't think. You came into Athenius by the ancient route to follow in Karaser's footsteps, didn't you? There's no need to apologize to a Minoan for your love of our epics and our culture. If anything, I should be thanking you for resolving the dispute between the fruit farmers and craftsmen. The rebuilding of the first temple could not have proceeded so smoothly without you. I simply did my part. I believe you've already met Benwi. I take it the venue and details of the exchange ceremony have been confirmed? Correct. Rather than doing it behind closed doors in a private room, what do you think of holding the ceremony beneath a statue of Charicea to be witnessed by her and all of Athenius? You want to hold the exchange ceremony at the first temple square? Yes, you are aware that I brought the most precious treasure of the Varjavandabad Museum to be exchanged for technical data that Sargonians left behind during the construction of the Three Falae. It's part of many heroic Minoan stories and closely linked to Charicea herself. Seeing the completed statue on the square was awe-inspiring. Her favorite visage and the relic that I carry complement each other. I understand that the exchange ceremony is supposed to begin with a classical play, in accordance with Minoan tradition. What better place to do it than the first temple's new amphitheater? Would that be a problem? Oh, Cassandra from the Minoan temple reminded me that any use of the first temple should be discussed with her. Cassandra. It's the Astanomos' officer's the Astanomos officer's responsibility. Spirit? Fate? Is so strange that it might be fake? Thinking it might be Hell Night? Are you zero fucks? It'd be so fake. I was never a big Fate fan, so it would not be a huge appeal to me, but I know a lot of people it would be a massive appeal to. Lighten the burden on the busy priest by handling trivial matters. I'll communicate with her. I was concerned about the lack of proper supervision in the rebuilding process because of the emulation of ancient methods, which has resulted in significant delays. Thought it might not be the most dignified of venues. I don't mind. However, a lot of problems can be solved if you were officially made the supervisor of the rebuilding project. Say, what now? The rebuilding of the temple is entering its final stages. We've reached the point where decisiveness and efficiency are more important than careful planning. I'm sure you already have a fair idea of what's going on, having befriended the craftsmen and solved their issues. Besides, I understand that you received an advanced education in museology in Columbia, including studies in architecture. Putting the finishing touch on the temple and readying it for opening shouldn't present too much difficulty, should it? I mean, it's true that I've designed and supervised the expansion of my museum, but it's not nearly as big as this temple. It's really important for a Sargonian ambassador to supervise the rebuilding of, the first temple. Your request that the exchange ceremony take place at the first temple is ample proof of your understanding of the relic and Minoan culture. I'm in full support of your proposal, and I'm sure the ever-considerate Cassandra won't object. But, I'd expect the... Ferentius? Who is that again? Oh yeah, it's Fuckboy. I didn't expect the ambassador to be such a polite and humble young lady. Perandros. Greetings from Gorinia, land of trade and merchants. Your Excellency, Ambassador Masaya of Sargon. I am here as Corinia's representative to the exchange ceremony at the Astianamosa's request. I have not overheard your conversation and couldn't help but stop to listen. May I ask you a question? Would you participate in the rebuilding of the first temple if your status were not a concern? Of course! It'd be a great honor to participate in the restoration of such a wonderful example of Minoan architecture, not to mention the knowledge that could be gained. I'd be delighted just to hew one piece of marble for it. In that case, why trouble yourself unnecessarily? Trouble myself, what? I have a little suggestion that might solve our present problem, as I see it. The two of you are in full agreement, but with this little issue of Ambassador Masahi's status. It's a sensitive issue, and Ambassador Mashaye's concerns are certainly well-founded. On the other hand, the Astenamos here is seeking a capable supervisor who has the support of the people in order to keep the temple project on track. What better way to resolve this than Minos' most ancient process? You mean a vote? A referendum held on the first temple square. Let the citizens of Athenius participating in the rebuilding decide whether to accept Ambassador Mashaye's supervision or not.
She's really the Sargonian ambassador. Travesty! Theater of Caesar's first temple was not built to host a diplomatic farce. That Sargonian said she brought the relic in exchange for the technical data from the three Pole. I knew that cargo didn't feel like movie figurines. The shape, the weight, and its irrelevance to Caesarea, could it be? The gall! To use stolen Minoan treasure to buy Minoan trust. Not if I have anything to say about it.
Alright, Drunken Craftsman. That looks, well, can I see the design? I was gonna say she looks cute. Well, can't see the design. God damn it. Come on, I feel a pique your curiosity in this event, Ryan? Or is it Minos hype? Not really. I mean, I was gonna read it on stream anyways, because I need stream content, and I need to read it anyways I want her to read all the side stories, because I like the world of Arknights, and I did want to read. And some people aren't sure about the gender.
Yeah, I guess. I can't really tell. It just looks like an effeminate face with a smile, but, yeah, we can see later. I guess Drunken Craftsman would imply that it's a femboy.
Ew! I can't believe it! And I thought you were a woman.
I do have to use the bathroom again, though, unfortunately. So, we're gonna have to take a brief pause, expand this. And there we go. I'll be, again, back shortly, chat. I always feel bad, but, gotta keep on a drinking if I want to, not actually kill my throat. So I'll be back in a minute. I should really make like a text little thing that I can just like put over the screen when it's like I'm on like a bathroom break, because then it's like now it's like if someone shows up, they're just like, what's happening, and it's just like chat has to explain to them. Stop making promises I can't keep, Project. Oh. I got a little something to, I got a little snack because, I was feeling that, like, faint, like, tingling feeling in the fingertips. Because I've been sick, I have not eaten much over the past few days. So, yeah, I got myself a little snack. I always, like, whenever I'm at the store, if I see a new, like, specialty Oreo, I always try it. I tried, like, the BTS collab Oreos recently. Those are still around, if anyone's interested. And you have, like, a local store that would carry them. The BTS Oreos are actually heat. I would recommend them. I think it's, like, brown sugar pancake is, like, the flavor. They're actually really good. I would 100% recommend those. I'm trying the Bomb Pop flavor. Less good. It's too much. They got the 3 separate flavor creams. It's too much. I think Oreo, if somehow you're listening and you want to do this again next year, instead, do 3 sets of 1 flavor cream. Because you guys know, chat, if you open a box of Oreos, there's like the 3 rows, right? There's like 3 rows of Oreos. Instead of putting the cherry, lemon, and blue raspberry all in one, like all in 1 cookie, have 1 row blue raspberry, 1 row of lemon, 1 row of cherry. Because the straight up lemon Oreos, they're one of my favorites. Like, straight up lemon Oreos, one of my favorites. But the Bomb Pop ones, they're just a bit much. There's a bit of a flavor clash. They're not. Rod Jack, I know they're not listening, but if they were, that's what I would do. That would be my advice to Oreos corporate. Because I think genuinely, if you did that, it would be heat. And not only would it be heat, well then you could start selling cherry and blue raspberry Oreos like in and of themselves, the way they already sell lemon Oreos. They should do it would be cool to see a faker flavored Oreo. They might do that in Korea. They wouldn't do that in the US. It's the same with like the faker ramen, which I've had the faker ramen, but I specifically got the faker ramen at an Asian market that has a lot of stuff from like straight up Korea and like from Japan, China, Korea. Little bit from Vietnam and Thailand, but less honestly from those places than I'd like. Very sad that they don't have more Thai stuff because I really like Thai curries. And other Thai food, but Thai curries are the main things that I can find the stuff to actually make from there. If not, I have to order online. And that's a whole hassle. No one wants to get into ordering food online unless it's like powders. Or stuff that doesn't go bad. Great Caesarea. Gentle and brave, not even the night can I just splendor. You brought us a wise duo to solve our troubles, help us build our tempo. The insects sing. The insects sing the song of your harp. Your laurel is woven in the shape of victory in the moonlight. Oh, sorry, it's not the moonlight that shines upon you, but the spotlights we installed last week. Don't drink too much. We're here to vote, remember. You don't want to hurt your hand engraving your Ostracon. Of course I remember. I'm here to vote for Titi. I almost fell when I was working on this statue by myself in the temple. I'd be drinking here right now if Titi didn't save me with her arts. You don't believe me? Let me show you. Tripped over the statue's sash shells on the floor and then whoa! Look up! The drunken forte, I'll steady yourself. Oh wait, is that Palace then? No, is that just TT? Oh, okay. Look out! Several white ribbons fly out of the shadows toward the drunken Forte girl, helping her steady herself. Hey, let her go. Okay, so it does say drunken Forte girl. Let her go once they ascertain that she is unharmed, straightening her hair while patting her horns in reproach. Are we gonna get to see the design still? Nope. See those ribbons? See those ribbons saved my ass, just like that. Oh, Titi, what are you doing here? Let's get a drink. Palace told me about a girl in the moving crew, small but strong. She loves drinking and has a tendency to stumble, but I didn't expect to see you stumble a dozen times in just 3 days, Kantia. Hey, Titi. She doesn't hold her drink any better than the average Minoan, which is to say, she's supposed to drink in moderation, but she has a drunkard soul. Need a swig, Titi? Do I look that nervous? Not on your face, but we've all figured out that your tail doesn't lie.
There's a guy on the scaffolds wearing a leap-shaped ring on his gray tail. Seraphim from the paint crew. He's only motivated when working with big muscular dudes. Nobody believes him when he says he's just lazy.
He loves his big man.
Sidoroka's so sober in contrast. I mean, what does Sidoroka do? Is she a sellsword for Rhodes Island? Like, is she like a mercenary type beat? That would explain why she's a little bit less eager to drink all the time, potentially. Or it could just be that she doesn't like the way it feels. I don't know. I haven't drank in quite a while by this point. If thinking back on it, like thinking on it now, I haven't drank in a while. It's been I think over a month. I think especially with because I've had issues with congestion, drinking already makes it harder for me to sleep and tends to make me congested. So I've already had congested issues that I've already had congestion issues that make it difficult for me to sleep. So I haven't felt like drinking. The doctor's personal fitness trainer. Honestly, good for Doc. Sidoroka seems like she'll take good care of him. He'll be up and running at a finer clip. Well, then I'll have you sitting in the corner not talking to anyone. Lefteria from the sculpting crew. She always stays out of the sun. I only talked to her a few times, but she's obsessive about her work. It's more than most of us know about her. Most of the craftsmen barely know she exists. I don't know about the others, Titi, but to me, you're one of us.
Thanks, Manos. Shouldn't you be comforting your friend? She looks nervous.
Comforting people is your job, Cassandra of Enemy and Temple. All me to fucking drink! What Titi needs now is not the reassurance of a friend, but the support of the Minoans participating in the temple project.
Karia Mashayer has been reciting her speech silently before those two craftsmen struck up a conversation with her. She subconsciously clutches her tail whenever she trips over a word. Twice she accidentally grabbed her little pet instead, much to its annoyance.
You've been observing her carefully. I think you like her.
This alone is not enough to prove she's worthy of trust. I just didn't want to surrender my own judgment to prejudice. It didn't take you long to decide that she was the best choice to supervise the project. I trust your judgment. Tonight, there's no shadow of confusion in those reflected in Karasea's eyes. Everyone has made their decisions. They do not need the words of heroes to guide their way. I have some personal matters to attend to. Excuse me.
You going?
Yes, sir, the Stanos might take the absence of the supervising priest from the voting as a form of protest. My Ostracon is already in the box. Besides, Lydia has no need for such blatant excuses if she wants to pick a bone with the priesthood. If the exchange ceremony takes place at the first temple, then the ceremonial play to honor the heroes. I'll talk to Lydia again, at least get her to defer to the priest when it comes to choosing the play. That's all for another day. Let's hope tonight's vote goes smoothly.
He runs away from her a lot, but he's not one of us. Wait, you say the doc runs away from Sidoroka, he runs away from her a lot? That'd be a major L if so.
Based on my experiences these past few days, as we solved the issue with the stone, I believe the structure is essentially complete and ready to welcome visitors. It'll be ready to open in a few days once we put the finishing touches on and complete the inspections according to the plan. There wouldn't be too much work to do to set up the exchange ceremony on the square. We just need to clear some room for the ceremony itself and have a separate area for logistics. We don't need to change anything with the rest of the building. It'll be ready to open once construction is complete. I will create an actionable proposal based on my knowledge and experience overseeing construction projects. If I'm elected, work together to complete the wonder that is Karasera's first temple.
Such a lively sight. It seems that Karia has made a lot of friends in such a short time. It would undoubtedly be a massive boon to the friendship between our two countries, not to mention the temple project if she's elected. What do you want?
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm here to attend the ceremony at your invitation. A son of Corinia's merchants just happens to pass by as I'm talking to the Sargonian ambassador and casually drops a solution to the problem at the hand that leads to tonight's vote. Was this all Karasera's will? Why not? Tradition dictates that any Minoan who has received the hero's blessing must visit a temple the following day to declare it before a priest. But you will not seek Cassandra no matter what, no matter how close the Astronomos' office is to Enemy and Temple, will you? You're crossing the line, Harius Periandos. You know just as well as I do that the election of Karia Meshair will be more than just a feather in your diplomat's cap. Your foremost concern will always be Minos itself, as it is for me. Speak your demands. You can spin all the words you want, but I will not assent before seeing the terms and conditions of the deal. Have patience, honored astronomers. Reputation is the most important thing in business, and I will bring my business to you personally once the dust has settled. It's not that time yet. In accordance with tradition, please etch yea or nay onto the ostracon you're holding, then place it in the box face down. We will tally the results once everyone has cast their ostraca. If more than half the votes are in favor, Titi, Karyamashaya, shall be named supervisor of the temple project until the exchange ceremony is complete. Begin! The priesthood now. Beef cheese and yogurt.
Cream cheese and yogurt.
The crowd walks up one by one to place their ostraca. There's some distance between the box and the center of the square where Titi is standing. You can see the smiling face of the friend she has made these past few days. They nod to Titi as their gazes meet. She cannot see the words on their ostraca. She knows what vote they cast. Who would have thought she'd be in charge of the construction of a Minoan temple? It would have been a tremendous honor even in Padishah Mala's time. How should she repay the kindness the Athenians have shown her?
Ha! What a joke! I wonder who this is.
A voice interrupts Titi's thoughts and causes the square to fall silent. Oh no, it's just sad, man.
Is this the year 1100? Or maybe we were at the turn of the millennium and the Sargons had come back to rule us.
The war's over, Magus.
For you, maybe. Not for me. The hated Sargonians continue to hound me in my darkest dreams. I wish I was forgetful as you, but our heroes tell me in my dreams that I must not forget.
Did a priest interpret that for you?
No, but these recurring dreams are the hero's voice. I alone know their will. I will never smile and work aside a Sargonian. I will not stand for it, no matter what good things you may say the Sargonian has done.
He watches the Minoan pass in front of her without so much as casting a glance her way. He tosses his last ostracon as he passes by the box. It hits the side and falls onto the ground, rolling a few times before setting face up. The ostracon is blank. It was the hatred of Sargonians and such that he would not dignify this vote by participating. Her cheeks burn as though she's been slapped in the face, but she trembles and feels a chill run up her spine. Everything seems to grow distant, as though there's a thick screen separating her and the others, and all the sounds around her. Today, she seems to be Pallas stepping up and the craftsman casting concerning glances at her. To say that she's fine, she's alright, and that she was prepared for such treatment as an envoy of peace sent by the erstwhile invaders and oppressors. Besides, it's not as though the Minoan has done anything to her. He simply said he did not want to work with her. This is fine. No one can be loved by everyone, after all. That's a smile, that famous, bright, carefree smile of Medjehtiqedti, Nasutu Bashayers. Every time I see Titi's name, I'm like, I gotta like re-sound it out. She's not called by her full name enough for me to get used to it. Just charms so many visitors to her museum, but she cannot find the words or her smile. The moment who tossed has in her mind. She recalls the frame in question of the day she arrived in Athenius. The time she spent with the temple craftsman meant something. They still trust her, but the countless Minoan strangers out there, she is not Titi, the curious lover of Minoan legend. She is a Sargonian. No. The box. Oh, Titi. Titi. Oh. That's sad.
Everyone's gone and the lights are out. How long are you planning to keep yourself curled up here? Before I take on the craftsman, we're worried sick about you. What do you do? Tell me on holiday will you fix the temple overnight with your own hands and ribbons? It'll make things square, will it? I've been circling your feet and winking at you for ages. Never occurred to you to look down? Never noticed that something wasn't quite right? Did you notice that a-hole deputy excusing himself from the voting ceremony and distancing himself from the whole thing? Did you notice the words ulterior motives written all over the astronomos? No. You just couldn't resist jumping into the grave that's just been dug for you. Now look where it's gotten you. Really? You're crying over that? You even tell how many times I've been seen in the city of gold. We're licking boots and stamping on faces as much a part of everyday life as eating and shitting. Besides, that you're crying for the people who used you. I told you when you got the Padishah's assignment it wasn't going to be a pleasant vacation. The scars of history that run deep, and the Minoans who are still recovering from the pain, and your position as ambassador of Sargon all serve to remind you it's not just an exchange of relics you have to deal with.
Proud creature tries to catch a glimpse of the young feline's face in a rare show of concern, but her head is bowed too low for it to see. Sighs and pokes Titi's hand with its head, cuddling around her, and gestures for her to pet it. Furry makes one happy. Your words. I give you special permission to stroke my tail, fluff my hair on my back, or wipe your tears on me. Either. Actually, I take back the last one. I hate getting wet. Why did I even pick up a troublemaking little thing like you? Now I'm on consolation duty. If I really am so fragile, you wouldn't have picked me when you left the Grand Bazaar, would you? Just this one time to lift your mood. Don't you dare get carried away. Thanks, Mio. Feel better? Yes, some people voted for me. It means they trust me and have hopes for me. Manos called me one of them. People don't always get along, even in the same family, and I'm in a country that was deeply hurt by Sargon in the past. I'm not a hero or legend. I can't miraculously solve everything with a song, a poem, or a speech. What I can do is get Charasea's first temple completed as soon as possible. Turn to the Minoans, Charasea, the thing that belongs to Minos. Moonlight shines upon Charasea's complexion. Wearing a laurel wreath, with a hand on her harp, she gazes into the infinite distance. Titi is beneath the marble statue, bathing in the same silent moonlight as Charasea. She closes her eyes and makes a wish. And so, Charasea, the singer of epics, the gentlest hero of Agamemnon, hung a harp on the branches of the laurel tree. Its body made from the tallest firs as hot Mount Himnoi, its strings made from the bravest bird and beast that roamed the Agnes Plains. When it played, all things in the land of heroes sang together, riding upon the winds of freedom. No wonder you came up with the idea of holding the exchange ceremony in the temple square when you saw the completed statue, Charasea. You brought Charasea's true harp, that used to be displayed in the first temple of old Athenius? Yes! Legend has it that Charasea was inspired to carve a massive harp from mountain rocks and firs after hearing the mountains tell their stories beneath Mount Himnoi. It was a blessed harp that only sang on important occasions, or when played by a great hero like Charasea, offering a song that touches the people's hearts. The first temple was destroyed when the Sargonians invaded old Athenius. Grieving the tragedy, the harp sang no more and afterwards went missing. Until Padishah Kari found it in his collection. I don't know how it ended up in Sargon. Perhaps a Sargonian soldier looted it from old Athenius and sold it to the Padishah's ancestor. I don't think anyone alive in Athenius has ever seen the original harp. The only people who would know anything about the harp are a few priests well versed with ancient texts, or aura benders like Cassandra who directly communicate with the heroes. Does it still make a sound? Yes. You performed an inspection on the strings. They're a little aged, but still in playing condition. I see. Perhaps the silence of the harp was simply a metaphor, as is often the case in Minoan stories. Where are the ferrymen? You pay these outrageous rents to be by the canal and get fresh fins. The goods are here, Keeper. Finally, any more delays and we won't be ready for the diplomatic delegation. Shall I unload the goods for you? Hey, why is the boat docked so far today? We'll be falling into the water trying to unload stuff. Bring the boat closer, please. Close the kitchen as you can. Okay. Thank you. I'm the one delivering, by the way, today. It's usually Xanathos who does it. I apologize. Master Xanthos had business. Well, it's no problem as long as the food gets here and the kitchen can get to work. You've been with Xanthos for a few years, haven't you? Must have his reasons for planning it this way. Not concerned at all. Well, he has to go be racist, so... He has important business, being racist. How's the event so far, Rain? It's good. I'm enjoying it. Sorry, Palace. Everyone in the temple has their hands full today. I simply can't free up anyone from the moving crew. I want to get the harp into the first temple ahead of time to see how it fits Charasea's statue. I should have just had someone big and strong help with carrying the harp, though. Just the two of us. Charasea was not particularly tall according to historical records. People took particularly note of the contrast when she stood next to a harp. Maybe I could even do it myself. Oh, it's heavy. Is this box full of lead or something? Well, we entered Athenius by the ancient route, which is pretty rough. We couldn't risk any damage to the relic. I had the museum staff prepare a packaging that's fireproof, waterproof, shockproof, and impact-proof, which unfortunately added a ton of weight to it. On the other hand, you wouldn't get a scratch on it, even if an earthquake suddenly shook the whole house down on it. I can see you take great care of your museum and collection. I went to Columbia to study museology because I was curious about everything and ended up working in a museum when I went back to Sargon. But my father died young, and my family's a far cry from its past glory. Honestly, I'm not sure why the Padishah picked me to lead the diplomatic mission. But it's my job now, and I want to do it right. Did all of it tell you that you... Explosion. What happened? Everything okay, Titi? Don't worry, the harp's unharmed. I was asking about you! Speaking of earthquakes, I think the relic's well protected. What's all the commotion downstairs? It looks like a boat rammed straight into the hotel kitchen. Oh god.
It's over, it's all over. What kind of ferryman are you? Full sails from 5 meters away? On a windy day like this, you know your boat would go even faster than Hermes the messenger. You wanted the boat as close to the kitchen as possible. I didn't mean inside the kitchen. Make way, make way. Peace officers already dispersing onlookers. Don't crowd around like this. I need to see what happened. Like, Con. You'll uphold justice, won't you, Grammateus? I just wanted this boat bringing ingredients to be close to the kitchen, but this kid rammed it right into my place. I'm sorry, I don't know how to operate a boat. Who do you think you're fooling? You've been sailing with Xanthos at the crossing every day for years. Theoretical knowledge does not equal practical skill. Why you? Enough! I can testify this man never passed a single chariot racing test back in preschool. This explains why I didn't see this huge stop sign, does it? The boat ran right through the fence. Didn't see? Has telepathy spread to his perceptual system? Is that why Lana made a home visit the other day? Lycaon, why do you look like you think I'm gonna die soon? No, don't say that, even if it's true. Excuse me, Grammatus, that's who used to be classmates, but yours is an official, and my kitchen suffered significant damage. Here. This is your coin purse? I'll pay for the damage, take what you need. Who's telling you to pay for me? You never got a proper job since you left preschool. I know Xanthos takes care of your room and board, but I doubt you have much money saved. Don't worry about it. Spend your money on treatment. Don't forget you still owe me a debate. I'm fine, really. The coughing? An acute attack? Doctor! I need a doctor over here! It's just the smoke, you idiot. Go get someone to fight the fire. Gravitas! Fire's getting stronger. Looks like the body at the kitchen stove. What's with all this smoke? You need to get out. Get away from the smoke. But the harp's well protected. City offices are already organizing people to fight the fire. It should be under control soon. Besides, the stairs are too narrow. The harp would get in the way of other people evacuating. Besides, are you alright, Palace? You're right, we need to leave. We can come back soon when the smoke's gone. Let's go. Fire! Oh no, my luggage still in my room. Don't worry, the fire's just in the first floor kitchen. It's not going to spread to the guest rooms upstairs. Just wait for them to put out the fire and the smoke to disperse. Bees officer.
God. Can they load the color of these, please? Come on.
Stop crowding, clear the air around the door. There's still people coming down from the upstairs. Sir, now's not the time to go inside.
Feeling better, Palace?
Oh, fucking, it's Dinglebop going to take the harp.
Feeling better, Palace?
I'm fine. I just inhaled some smoke. We should be good to go back to the room in 10 minutes. I'll help you take the harp to the first temple, just in case anything happens.
Thanks. Sorry, it's so crowded here. Hey, Palace, did that guy look familiar to you?
Who? Did you hear? The kid at the crossing was the one who rammed the boat in the kitchen. He usually looks pretty smart, but I guess he's just as dumb as it gets when it comes to piloting a boat. Where was Xanthos? He's the one who usually delivers the goods. Too busy, maybe? It's not like him to let an inexperienced apprentice get into trouble on his own. True.
I remember now. It was Xanthos, the ferryman, who ran into me just now.
Xanthos, are you sure? If you had the time to come to the hotel, why would he let an inexperienced apprentice steer the boat and cause an accident?
Wait a second. I have a bad feeling about this. As do I.
Yup, he's going in to grab it. He's going in to steal it. Oh, Xanthos, you naughty, naughty boy. You naughty, naughty boy.
The room of the Sargonian ambassador. This is the relic that was stolen a century ago.
Tolmano appears the massive wooden box. He starts the motor on his serrated oar. Repurposing the tool that he used to cross the river to pick the lock open, he carefully lifts the cover of the box. The instrument of Caracera, which should have come home long ago, is safely packaged in a dust cover.
Cersea's harp must not be used as a bargaining chip by the Sargonian hypocrites, to be shut away in this pretentious, suffocating box.
Put the harp down, Xanthos.
The people praise you for proposing rebuilding the first temple as soon as you return to Athena's palace. I voted in favor myself.
Thank you.
But you should not have cozied up to the Sargonians.
Instruct your apprentice to ram the hotel kitchen and cause a fire, letting you sneak in and steal an artifact of great diplomatic significance to our two countries. It's an ill-advised act. Streets outside the hotel are packed with people. You can't possibly escape with the harp. You're jumping out the window. This is the 4th floor. Well, Titi, what do you can't possibly escape? Of course you're gonna sleep.
Would rather steal a heart than let a heart go to a Sargonian feast. Yeah, he does not trust that it is, he does not trust that this is a true peace gesture. He thinks they're just buttering them up to get them again. He thinks they're going to be stinky boys again soon.
We are directly above the kitchen. The boat rammed the kitchen. It wasn't just a distraction, it's his escape. He had this planned. The door will take too much time. How about you give me a ride? Wisdom.
Fire is under control, Grammateus. As for the hotel's losses, I'll report the incident to Shamus' office per official procedures. As damage to the kitchen, I've already settled that with the innkeeper. I see. We'll station someone here to make sure no one's trying to take advantage of the chaos. For instance, what is it? Look up! Academos looks up. A pair of forte arms pitch black under the sunlight, like the twin moons, flies over the head of the crowd, the owner landing upon a haystack on the accident boat before leaping off the boat and fleeing along the river. A few seconds later, a white figure leaps from the window of the end of the silver chain. The black flume's landing is softened by several cloth ribbons surrounding her. Xanthos, the ferryman, the Sargonian ambassador. It's that huge thing Xanthos is carrying on his back. Don't tell me. You were right, officer. Someone is trying to take advantage of the chaos. Understood. Cordon the scene and impound that boat. Send someone to follow Caria Mashaer and bring Xanthos into custody. The harvest is done. We need your help in unpacking the apples in crates. No problem. You guys help with a lot of the stone for the temple, after all.
Excuse me.
Whoa! Xanthos, what's the hurry? Is that Titi chasing after him?
Hey, Thanos, make way!
Thanos! Snap his ass! This is a race. Where's the finish line? Go, Titi, go. You can't lose to Xanthos. He has so much stuff on his back, right?
No, I can't.
Careful with the apples!
Sargoni is persistent. This is as far as you go.
Xanthos, the river is just ahead. The harp is out of its waterproof packaging. The water will ruin it.
There is Sargonian to remind me that your people have ruined countless window and treasures.
Xanthos! What's that sound? There's a boat under the pier? That is carefully planned. This wasn't an impulsive act. No, don't go! The told ribbons fly toward the package on Xanthos' soldier. The Forte safely jumps back, placing the harp at the stern of the ship. The ribbons wind themselves around his arm, helping Titi jump onto the boat. Xanthos! It's really swaying beneath my feet. Clear the air between us. Let's talk about this on dry land, shall we?
I have nothing to say to a Sargonian.
Let me apologize then. Keep their eyes on each other, one at the bow, the other at the stern. Xanthos clutches his oar and starts its motor, while Titi begins to glow with the light of her orogenium arts. Ribbons fly from her clothes, grabbing the harp and pulling it towards the bow. Xanthos cuts the ribbons only to find Titi has closed the distance with the harp. He runs the bow, causing the boat to tip violently, throwing Titi off balance, interrupting her arts. Both of them reach out desperately. The dust cover on the relic is removed, revealing the legendary lost harp in all its glory. Every Minoan has heard the story of Caracera and her harp. Fresh few have seen it with their own eyes. It remains proud and glorious, despite the passage of 1,000 years. Sunlight falls on the metallic leaves decorating its pedestal, surrounding it with a gentle glow. The pair fighting over the harp has no time to admire as they watch the harp's trajectory change, less than a second before hitting the ground. Medjehtiqedti has never thought of herself as lucky. The glory of her novel as we can first take a peek at, it nearly falling. And the expression. See, this shows how the bad that racism does. He's blinded by prejudice, bruh. The glory of her noble house had long faded away by her father's generation. Her father was obsessed with literature, while her mother, still clinging to old aristocratic habits, showed little interest in spending time with her daughter. He spent most of her free time in her father's library, alone. The knowledge she learned there was basic, shallow, but nevertheless expanded her horizons, and still in her a strong sense of curiosity for everything. That's why she saved money to pay for her own studies in museology in Colombia. She was excited but nervous when Medjehtiqedti approached her to be the ambassador, appointed her to be the ambassador to Sargon. On one hand, she was drawn to the wonders of Minoan culture and the stories of heroes. On the other hand, she was acutely aware of the challenges that the burden of history presented. The joy she gained from working with the temple craftsman, the last vestige of fantasy and daydream in her mind would be shattered with a falling harp in less than a second. Xanthos was not so arrogant as to think that his plan to take the harp back from the Sargonians was flawless. He might go to jail or have an earthly title carrying out the plan. He did not care that he was risking his life for something that would seem ridiculous, to most. To him, the only place he would find peace was the battle on the border where Ithacos went 5 years ago. There's no point in asking the meaning of anything that's happened since. The trickery of fate is even more cruel than in heroic legends. Xanthos thought of many ends for himself, but never this one. The precious harp is about to hit the ground, and there's nothing Xanthos can do about it. Should he be angry, sad, fearful, or simply laugh at his own helplessness? The emotions that fate has impounded have returned to his empty chest. The tall Minoan warrior sees everything flash before his eyes. The breeze of the Delphi Canal brushes against Xanthos' back. It's never been felt so cold. He cannot help but tremble. You can see the Sargonian woman's face. It's deathly pale. He knows that his own face is the same. They're both just like, oh, fuck! Oh, no! Oh, no! Thunk! We've arrested Xanthos the Ferryman as apprentice lying on charges of robbery, Your Excellency. I sincerely apologize for the damages you suffered. I know it's not my place to ask, but can the damaged item be? Thank you for your concern, officer. The item that was damaged was a personal effect and not particularly valuable. Xanthos the Ferryman ferried me across the river when I first came to Athenius. This was simply a minor misunderstanding. You can send onlookers on their way. Yes, Your Excellency. If you do not intend to pursue this matter any further, then we'll take the two suspects and proceed in accordance with the law. You too. Thank Hero Mashea for magnanimity. The harp has been defeated.
You don't know what to steer a boat. Medjehtiqedti can testify to that. You could have gotten off easily. Why put yourself in this situation with me, Lyakon?
You instructed me to provide a distraction on the boat because you know I'm a poor liar, Master Xanthos. I knew about your plan and took action to help you. I must accept responsibility with you. Besides, I do not think that what you did was unreasonable. Personal effect? As if the officer believed that. She saw your courtesy as a way out, so she wouldn't have to persecute her own people. The relic is at the center of the cultural exchange between Sargon and Minos since the establishment of diplomatic relations was stolen and damaged during its retrieval. This would be more than enough to start a war if we were in Lithuania or Syracusa. I checked the harp. The damage was minor. Only a crack on the pedestal. It can easily be repaired by filling and painting over the crack. Under normal circumstances, I would have kept it untouched, but these are what we call extenuating. I can fix it so nothing looks out of place for the exchange ceremony in a few days. Now you must be descended from Sargonian nobility. You've inherited none of your ancestors' political acumen. The Minoans are entirely at fault here. This is a perfect chance to punish the offender severely, establish Sargon's authority and prestige, and I know you're proud of your family's military exploits in Minos, Benhoy Effendi, and to you this is like revisiting your old stomping grounds in a sense. But times have changed. Medjehtiqedti appointed us to visit Minos with Kateria's harp, not to show off Sargonian glory, but to repair the relationship between our two nations. As emissaries of Sargon, our priority is to carry out the exchange ceremony successfully, not our own obsessions and interests. Am I wrong? Are you gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Are you gonna look at me and tell me that I'm wrong? Oh shit, chat. That's technically... Yeah, we are technically there. We're technically there to the end of what I had laid out for us. We are up to MEST2. It felt like a bit of a quicker stream. I guess maybe I was very focused on the reading, so there weren't as many bits. But I mean, yeah, that was a fairly quick one. Like we got decently far along. I just also realized I forgot to call it the Medjehtiqedti bound read along. It just says Chud Kitty Wife Medjehtiqedti bound. I mean, if you know my channel, you'd assume it's a read along, but if you don't know it, then you're like, What the fuck? We're reading? You come in here and you're like, we're not playing, we're reading? What the fuck? But yeah. Thanks everybody for showing out. This was a fun start. This was a fun set of chapters, and I'm very happy. I'm very happy with how this story has been. It's been a nice story. It's been casual. I think the story itself has also been a little short compared to some of the others. So yeah, it's definitely not like Lone Trail where it required like 3 streams and some chat homework. Like that was a long one. This is definitely one that you could finish in like a day, I think. You could easily sit down and finish this. I mean, most Dark Knight stories you could sit down and finish in a day. This one you could easily sit down and finish in a day, if the length doesn't rapidly increase in the second half. But yeah, thanks everybody for coming out. Next Tuesday at the same time that I started that last stream, we're gonna play Enfield again. So it's gonna be another Tuesday, 3 p.m. for me, and whatever that equivalent was, start of the Enfield time for you. So that's gonna be we're doing that. Saturday we should be good for a stream with Dio, barring extraneous circumstances. Next Tuesday, yep, next Tuesday. Tuesday is the same day that C Squad streams, so I generally, if it's like, well, I've already kind of put a day into streaming, I've already kind of sacked the day for the purpose of like being in one stream, so I might as well stream that day myself later. So, and then yeah, Saturday 7 p.m. as it says in the bottom, that's the Soul Lock with Dio. We are on to gym. We're on to gym 5. What's supposed to happen this week, however, on Saturday, Dio's internet did go out, so we had to cancel. Unfortunate, but is the way that it is. We kind of need him to be there with internet, so, you know, it is what it is. But, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming out. Was a really fun read-along. Unfortunately, you know, there don't seem to be any statues here. There don't seem to be any of the statues in the actual story so far. The questioning statues don't seem to be here in the story. So, you know, what are we supposed to thirst over? You know, I don't know, Cassandra and Palace and Titi? Like, compared to the statues, oh. But yeah, thanks for coming out. I'll see you guys on Tuesday, Saturday, next Sunday. Why not? It's hot. What do you mean? You're crazy. If the statue is not a hear me out for you, you're crazy. Alright, see you guys later.